gets revealed, every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building.
Smash that like button, man. Come on, man. Smash that like button for the people coming in. We got 30 people. We only got 9 likes. Come on, we're going to get some people some time to come in, man. Smash that like button once y'all come in the building. Y'all already know the vibes.
Call it research, connecting every dot before I give my first word. Yeah. This is Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Let's get to it. Smoke News TV, where the truth gets revealed. Every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building.
Yeah, we back. Get some people to jump in, man. Smash that like button while y'all coming in the building, man. We only got 21 likes, man. We go through this shit every night, right? I'm trying to tell you, bro. Smash that like button. Hold up. We're gonna play this game, huh? The tight-knit light community. That's what we're gonna play. That's what we're gonna play. We're gonna play the tight-knit with a tight-knit light community. That's what we're gonna play now, man. That's what we doing out here. Let's cut this shit out, man. Come on, gang. Let's cut this shit out. Now, I should have got my shit fixed from the beginning. There you go. Just yeah. Salute. What's good, man? Smash that like button for the people coming in, man. Yeah, you know we gotta talk about Tupac. Come on, it's trial start next week. What we doing over here? You know, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this. Oh yeah. Because I feel like Keefe did. I feel like he gonna get away with this shit. And I feel like it was other people involved. And I'm gonna break down these videos and show y'all allegedly. So everything that I speak on this video is alleged. It's my opinion. This is alleged. We're going back 30 years. It's some players still playing around out here, pause, while Tupac is alive, unalive, and got away with it. Because I still believe there was other players involved in that Tupac situation. And I don't care what nobody said. Oh, okay, we know about the dirty cops. We know about Reggie and this group and all that. Oh, we know about all that shit. But nah, there's more, it's other people too, bro. I always told people when he passed away and Big passed away, who was the last two Mohicans of the West Coast and the East Coast, and they became friends. Oh, we're going through all these clips. Oh yeah, we're going through all this. Yeah, man, smash that like button. We're gonna get some more folks up here. Some people probably be like, "Oh man, I don't want to talk about Tupac, this and that." And, oh, nah, we're gonna talk about Tupac, man. His trial start next week, man. Finally. Shout out to James. Shout out to Paige over there on Kick. Make sure y'all follow me on Kick. Do me that favor. Shout out to my moms, man. Shout out to military. Shout out to my boy 304 Hitter. Make sure y'all go follow me on Kick. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Try to get your membership. Be down with Team Smoke. Hit the like button. It's free. Hype your boy up. They got the 3 dots on the video. Hit that shit. Boom. You got the hype button. Hype your boy up, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all this today. Oh yeah, it's a lot of players involved in that, and on 2 people being unalive, man. Y'all gotta understand, man. It's an industry thing, a legend. You know how the industry do. You worth more when you pass away. That part. Let's get this copyright out the way, though, man. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and the videos I play, they also owned by the original creators. Yeah, man. It's a lot of players involved in this shit, though, man. Definitely a lot of players involved in this situation right here. But let's get to it, though, man. We're gonna get to it. Because obviously, certain topics, certain people jump on. So, we have to leave the Nolan Wells. We have to let that rest a little bit, man. Let that Nolan Wells rest a little bit. Know what I mean? For a day, whatever. Hopefully, we'll get breaking news on that tomorrow. But right now, you know how I do. I do the real news and I do the goddamn hip hop. And right now, we got one of the biggest trials coming up next week. One of the biggest hip hop person that did hip hop on Tupac. He passed away, and it took 30 years for this shit. You got to be shitting me. A lot of people think Suge. A lot of people think that Snoop knew something. I ain't saying Snoop did something. Let's get to Suge Knight, though. Smash that like button for the people that just joined it. We got 61 so far. We're trying to get 100 people in the building. I know it's still early. I know people still getting their stuff together, whatever. He said, I think Suge had him unalive. He said, I think the cops were blood. Nah, definitely the cops. We all know that. We definitely know the cops allegedly had something to do, or they know something. Why they took so goddamn long? You get what I'm saying? Why they took so long, man? Let's get to it, though. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Let's get some people when they join in, man. We're going to continue with this shit.
Is out ahead of the murder trial for Dwayne. A new witness list is out ahead of the murder trial for Dwayne Keefe Davis, the man accused in the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur here in Las Vegas. Davis is charged with orchestrating the drive-by shooting that happened near Flamingo and Koval. Shakur died 6 days later. The trial is expected to start in 1 week on August 10th. Among those listed as expected witnesses, Marion Suge Knight, who was in the car with Shakur that night and is the only other surviving witness to the shooting, as well as Shakur's sister and former Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman. Davis was arrested in Henderson in September of 2023, and he is the only person ever taken into custody in the case.
Hip-hop world when he was murdered in Las Vegas. But even Tupac Shakur was a rising giant in the hip-hop world when he was murdered in Las Vegas. But even after his death, his legacy continued on, but the search for those responsible never stopped. It's a case that started in Las Vegas and is ending here with a trial. The connection goes all the way back to 1989, when Dwayne Keefe Davis says in his book he met Tupac Shakur for the first time at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. Davis recalled running into Tupac many times after that. But when Tupac released his hit song California Love, Davis said the lyrics didn't sit right with his gang, the Compton Southside Crips. But Tupac was already a rising star.
I'm gonna give everything I can.
The two wouldn't meet again until 1996. Prosecutors say by then a gang feud from the streets of Compton was already brewing between the Southside Crips and the Mob Peru Bloods, who were affiliated with Death Row Records, the record company representing Tupac and owned by Suge Knight. September 7, 1996. The Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas had just wrapped up. Tupac was there with his crew and Davis was there with his. But inside the lobby, a fight broke out. Davis's nephew was jumped by Tupac and Suge Knight.
Some 11A East Coasters came in there. Like, Keefe, they just jumped on lane. Like, who? He said, the Death Row, Tupac them. You gotta be.
In his book, Davis wrote, "We couldn't let no record company studio gangsters do us like that." Davis recalls looking for those responsible for his nephew's beating and began searching the strip. Hours later, they came face to face with Tupac and Suge Knight at a stoplight near Flamingo Road and Cobalt Lane. Davis recalled Tupac was waving to his fans. He writes that Tupac reached for a weapon, quote, "Pac pulled out a strap and that's when the fireworks started." Suge Knight survived, but Tupac Shakur died 6 days later. In 2008, Keefe D gave statements to police under a promise of immunity. But that didn't stop him from telling the public what he remembers from the shooting.
Seen all on the news.
But that 2008, Keefe D gave statements to police under a promise of immunity.
Hello. Didn't I mention that before? The reason why he told us this sloppy ass story, people still think Keefe was in the car, which I don't believe Keefe was in the car. 2008, he was facing a serious charge, man. They knew Orlando Anderson was Keefe's nephew. They knew all that. So how are they going to try to crack the goddamn case, the most unsolved case at that time since 2008 and all, 30 years, 20, 15 more years later? In 2008, they tried to crack the case with Keefe D. They promised him immunity. Immunity, they promised. Oh, yeah, you tell us everything, you're good. You're good over here with us. I'm telling you, Keefe, we're going to get you out this situation. Just tell us all the players involved inside the Tupac situation. If you got anything on Biggie Smalls, you can tell us that too. That's what he did. Keefe hit him with a whole lie. I don't care what nobody said. Because you got to understand, when Keefe got that immunity, that's when he came out with the book. That's when he started talking more. That's when he started talking. He started moving his lips more. Paul, he started running his mouth too much. But you got immunity, then they come back and grab you up. You know why? Because they knew that nigga was lying, man. Keefe lying with this whole shit. I'm telling y'all. I'm not saying he don't got nothing to do with it. He absolutely probably got everything to do with it because of the connections that was all involved. He was connecting the rest in peace Von Zip. Anybody know Von Zip, the legendary nigga from New York? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Shout out to New York. They know what I'm talking about. Legendary nigga. He was connected out there in the West Coast with Keefe D in the underground world. If y'all know what I'm talking about. How do you think Puffy got introduced to them niggas? Through Von Zip. That's his OG. I sit back and wait. This ain't nothing I'm making up. It's thousands of documentaries out there about this shit for the last 25 years. Von Zip played a role in this shit too. Don't get it twisted. Red Man Soul, rest in peace. I'm not saying he got something to do with it, but he helped Puffy with a lot of situations as far as the funds, the money, all that. There's documents, there's history, there's documentaries on YouTube. Go look it up. It's the connections. So when he got caught up in that heavy ass charge, pause in 2008, and they promised in the 2000, whatever, early 2000, and they came to the table with him, say, yo, listen, we know Orlando is your nephew. We can't actually pinpoint that you was in the car that night because we really don't got no witnesses saying that they seen you in the car, Keefe. But we'll give you immunity if you give us something because it's been over 20 years already, 15 years, and we gotta do something here. And that's exactly what he did. Gave him a slob-ass story. Start making shit up a little bit. Some of the shit probably was official, but some of the shit was fiction, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. So for people saying like, oh, nah, Smoke, you wild. And for my last video I did about this, I did a video about this. I seen a couple comments like, nah, man, he got you fooled. Keefe was in that car. How y'all know Keefe was in that car? How y'all know? Because Keefe told, he told us and told the police with the immunity, he was in the car. Nigga, you gonna tell the police anything to get out that goddamn fair situation if they offer you immunity. You're gonna give them any type of story you're gonna give them. You trying to come home. So you're gonna put up, you're gonna put up a little bit of things that you do know, because obviously you gotta know about the situation because you Keefe D. At that time, you was an OG, you was not me, you was that nigga. But come on, y'all really gonna sit back and believe everything Keefe D was telling us? And they offer that nigga immunity back in 2008 when he first started talking about this Las Vegas shit? Stop playing with me. That man did that shit to get about that situation he got jammed up in. And he told them anything. Half was real, half that shit was fiction. It was fake. Keefe was not in that goddamn car, and somebody proved to me that Keefe was in that car. He told them that he was in the car, that part. They didn't have no proof Keefe was in the car. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, man. Let's get 50 likes. Let's get 3 more likes. Let's get up to 100 likes. Let's continue, though. Smash that like button.
But that didn't stop him. He survived, but Tupac shook to his fans and began searching the Strip. Hours later, but even after his death, his legacy continued on, but the search for those responsible never stopped. It's a case that started in Las Vegas and is ending here with a trial. The connection goes all the way back to 1989, when Dwayne Keefe D. Davis says in his book he met Tupac Shakur for the first time at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. Davis recalled running into Tupac many times after that. But when Tupac released his hit song California Love, Davis said the lyrics didn't sit right with his gang, the Compton Southside Crips. But Tupac was already a rising star.
I'm gonna give everything I can.
The two wouldn't meet again until 1996. Prosecutors say by then a gang feud from the streets of Compton was already brewing between the Southside Crips and the Mob Peru Bloods, who were affiliated with Death Row Records, the record company representing Tupac and owned by Suge Knight. September 7, 1996. The Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas had just wrapped up. Tupac was there with his crew and Davis was there with his. But inside the lobby, a fight broke out. Davis's nephew was jumped by Tupac and Suge Knight.
Some 11A East Coasters came in there. Like, Keefe D, they just jumped on lane. Like, whoo. They said, they jumped on lane. 11A East Coasters came in there.
Jumped by Tupac and Suge Knight.
Some 11A East Coasters came in there. Like, Keefe D, they just jumped on lane. Like, whoo. They said, the Death Row, Tupac them. You gotta be.
In his book, Davis wrote, "We couldn't let no record company studio gangsters do us like that." Davis recalls looking for those responsible for his nephew's beating and began searching the Strip. Hours later, they came face to face with Tupac and Suge Knight at a stoplight near Flamingo Road and Cobalt Lane. Davis recalled Tupac was waving to his fans. He writes that Tupac reached for a weapon, quote, "Pac pulled out a strap and that's when the fireworks started." Suge Knight survived, but Tupac Shakur died 6 days later. In 2008, Keefe D gave statements to police under a promise of immunity, but that didn't stop him from telling the public what he remembers from the shooting.
Seen all on the news. Like, damn, I got away.
Prosecutors.
You see, he got comfortable because they promised him immunity. That's the reason why we start seeing Keefe D jumping on all these platforms, talking the way he was talking. And a lot of people obviously believed it. But I got to understand, you can't believe somebody that just got accepted immunity. And he didn't even get promised that shit because they spent back and locked his ass up. That part. So they promised him immunity, but they obviously didn't give it to him because they came back and grabbed his ass up a couple years later. He got too loose. I believe they know for a fact that Keefe wasn't in that goddamn car, and I think they just locking him up because Keefe is involved in it. He's one of the last Mohicans involved in that situation. There's not too many people alive off that situation. A couple of them are working with the police. Keefe obviously was working with them, but they spent the block and locked them up. They gotta lock somebody up, bro. And when they promise you immunity, you can't believe a nigga like this. Are you crazy? Any nigga gonna make up a story. Not saying he wasn't involved in it, but how can you officially tell me that he was in the car, though? Where's the videos? We don't got one video of Keefe D being in Las Vegas. He's the fall guy, like Dante said. Exactly. There's always a fall guy. And some fall guys stay 10 toes down. They don't want to speak on other people. There's some fall guys like that. There's some fall guys like that that won't speak on the higher up, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Because they know the consequence of what's going to happen. I don't know who shot Pac, bro. I'm going to keep it real with you, Paige. I don't know who shot Pac, bro. The only one I feel like could have gave us a good statement, rest in peace, Gaddafi. I feel like Gaddafi seen way more than anybody else seen, bro. And they got Gaddafi out of here.
Media interviews and his public what State Road and Cobalt Lane.
See, the shooting happened right here in Flamingo, and they came down this way. They pulled up right on the side. And you telling me back in 1996, on a fight night, Mike Tyson, all that shit was crowded. Look, there was a gas station there too. Y'all see the gas station logo, right? They said there was a gas station there also. How the hell that gas station never got a video of what happened? Can I ask anybody that question? And if y'all think I'm tripping, go back to 1996. There was a gas station when that incident happened. Because a lot of people always bring that up. Why the gas station never got a photo or video or none of that shit? And you got hotels around there. And if people say, oh, no, there was different technology, I don't want to hear that shit. They had cameras back in the days also. How the hell do you think they solved a lot of crimes also back in 1996? That's why I had to pause it right here for y'all. Because at that time of the shooting, there was actually a gas station right across the street from them. I sit back and wait. And it took 30 years for this shit. Where the videos? Where the hotel videos? What hotel that Keefe Dean ran to and what parking lot they parked? You see, y'all got to understand, the more they drag old-ass cases like this, the more your memory going to be gone. The more you're going to forget how that area looked at that time. We talking 1996. It's 2026, y'all. So when people think about it, oh, man, smoke, man, just leave it alone. No, you can't leave it alone because at the end of the day, all this shit was a cover-up. It was the setup, backdoor, and a cover-up when they unalived Tupac. And I don't care what nobody say, bro. That man was a problem. A lot of people couldn't handle Pac. And there was a lot of jealousy, too. Let me put that in the air. There was a lot of jealousy over Pac's success. Can we all agree on that? Come on, man. There's a gas station there. There's hotels over here. How the hell we never got a video? Why we ain't getting nothing? I'm pretty much sure there's other things going on across the street at that moment. Little stores and shit. Let's continue.
Davis recalled it was like that. Davis recalls looking for those responsible for his nephew's beating and began searching the strip. Hours later, they came face to face with Tupac and Suge Knight at a stoplight near Flamingo Road and Cobalt Lane. Davis recalled Flamingo Road. Hours later, they came face to face with Tupac.
You know what picture threw me off? This picture. This picture threw me off for 30 years, y'all. And I'm going to ask y'all, can y'all figure out what I'm talking about in this picture? Now, remember, this is supposedly the last picture that they took before they got hit up in the car. But they saying, I looked at this picture so many times. I zoomed in. I'm like, yo, they didn't have no push buttons back then in these cars. They was in the BMW. Where is the key in the key ignition? You know where you put the key at? If somebody could look closely, do you see a key in that shit? They got other better pictures too. Don't get it twisted. But I never see a key in the car. I don't know if they was parked. I don't know if this car was moving when they took this shit. But the person that took this photo said that They caught him at the red light before the incident happened. It was a person that took the picture, and they said, yo, Pac. And Pac puts turned around. That's the look they gave him. And, Suge looking straight. But I always look at the place where you put your key at to start the car. And I'm like, yo, where the hell's the key at in this goddamn vehicle? I forgot who the dude that took the picture. Actually, go look it up. It's some black guy. It's some black dude. They did it. He was on a couple documentaries also because they always wanted to know who was the last person that took this picture. And they said it's a BMW, but I'm like, yo, we ain't had no push button, so where the hell's the key at? Unless that shit's invisible, I don't know. But if you go back to the original photo, you ain't gonna see no key in that goddamn car right there. He said, I see one, but you could say there ain't. That's what I said, JJ. It's like I could see it, but then again, I'm like, nah, that shit don't even look like a key. It's weird, man. It's weird, gang. This whole shit it been weird since it first happened, bro. But let's continue though. This shit is weird as hell, man. Cause I always looked at this picture like, yo, where the key at? Never could find that key in the key ignition. Never could find it. Never. He said too much thinking Biggie and Pac gone equal Diddy knew he was going to lose. Biggie and Pac was a greater 1 + 1 2 plus Keefe Menendez. You can run with that shit if you want. Listen, there's nothing wrong with people that don't think more out the box. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people, we think a little bit more than other people. Some people just run with the first narrative and they go home and they go to sleep with it. But if that's your thought, ain't nothing wrong with that. If you think that if Keefe was in that car, there's nothing wrong with that.
Came face to face with Tupac and Suge Knight at a stoplight near Flamingo Road and Cobalt Lane. Davis recalled Tupac was waving to his fans. He writes that Tupac reached for a weapon, quote, Pac pulled out a strap and that's when the fireworks started. Suge Knight survived, but Tupac Shakur died 6 days later. In 2008, Keefe D gave statements to police under a promise of immunity, but that didn't stop him from telling the public what he remembers from the shooting.
Seen all on the news. Like, damn, I got away.
Prosecutors said media interviews and
Oh, yeah, we got one early. Here we go. We got one early. No, man, Keefe admitted in real life podcast. Real life podcast. So you believe everything that somebody tell you? So you believe everybody that's on the podcast with you, what they telling you? I ain't just show you what the hell they gave this man. Supposedly supposed to have gave that man back in 2008 so he could get up in that goddamn fair charge he had. The nigga had a heavy drug charge back then. Why do you think they came to visit him? They said we'll give you immunity if you could give us anything that happened that night. If they came with you. And you only know a little bit of the details, but you wasn't in the car, but you was involved because obviously you're the breadwinner also, because Keefe D was the breadwinner back then also back in them days. But if you know you wasn't in that car, you're going to put yourself in that car to get the hell out of them jail cells because they're giving you immunity supposedly. So you telling me that you believe everything Keefe D telling you, huh? Okay. Why you think Keefe came on, got comfortable? Because they spin back around the block and locked this dumb ass up because they actually didn't give him immunity. They lied to that nigga. Because once they give you immunity, they can't lock you up, champ. Look a little Woody. Stop playing. I'm not saying Keefe ain't got nothing to do with it. Keefe wasn't in that goddamn car. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. That nigga made up that story so he could get the hell out of jail. They promised him immunity when they interviewed him back in 2008. And after that, what happened? He came out with the book. He started getting comfortable. He started doing interviews. And he started running his mouth more because he thought the feds had his back. He was trying to eat off the story, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. And when they couldn't arrest nobody in the last couple of years, what they do? They spent around the block and came and locked this dumb ass up. There's more players involved, man. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all. They'd rather lock his dumb ass up as a fall guy, and he's not gonna rat on them on the higher ups. Some people want to believe it, some people don't. That's your thought.
2019 tell-all book revealed more about what he knew about Tupac's killing. In July 2023, police raided his Henderson home, and by September, he was in handcuffs in connection to the 1996 killing.
Well, I know there's been many people who did not believe that the murder of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department. I'm here to tell you that was simply not the case.
He lying, because Las Vegas, y'all could have solved that shit a long time ago. That case was not important to y'all, so cut the shit out. The only reason y'all spent around the block and came back and locked somebody up, because we had somebody running on these podcasts, bringing back the memory, and who was doing all that? That was Keefe D. Keefe D was making y'all look bad down there in Las Vegas, as far as the police department. Because when he was on platforms, who Keefe D kept saying, oh yeah, you know, Las Vegas, the police department, they look like they didn't care at the time and all. He said that shit plenty of times. So what y'all do? Okay, you think we don't care? We're gonna come lock your dumb ass up now. And that's what they did. Keefe D put all this shit on himself, not for nothing. But let's continue though.
Since his arrest, he has gone through a jailhouse fight and 3 different attorneys leading up to the trial. Defense attorney Michael Samth says he's confident in this case.
We have to leave that up to a jury. They have to make that final call. I'm just, with regards to the preparation of the case, we're very confident in the case.
Now, nearly 30 years after those fateful gunshots on the Las Vegas Strip, a jury will finally decide if Keefe D was the mastermind behind the murder of a music legend. That trial is set to start August 10th. I'll be covering it from the courtroom and from Fox 5. And every week, I'll be bringing you up to speed on the key moments from the trial from our...
All right, man, we got to continue. Smash that like button. We only got 72 likes. We don't got 100 likes at least. Come on, man. Y'all playing out here? I know it's a little chill night, not too many, you know what I mean? But let's get 100 likes. Come on, gang. Let's get 100 likes, man. Come on. So we can continue, because there's more players involved. And I'm about to show y'all. I'm about to show y'all. Let me tell you something. You can't get rid of one without getting rid of the other one. It was a deal, allegedly. We get rid of one, we got to get rid of the other one. We're gonna let you hold down the East Coast, and we're gonna let you hold down the West Coast, because the other dude, he's locked up for a couple of years. His career is over, Suge Knight. And I'm going to keep telling y'all who was the last 2 Mohicans that held down the West Coast and the East Coast after all this happened. Who blew up in the West Coast? Who became Godfather Dog and all this? Snoop Doggy Dogg and all this? Who Puff became after that? Puff blew up. Puff became a whole rapper. Y'all forgot Puff dropped the album right after Biggie died, right after Life After Death? He dropped No Way Out. That's when he had that song, I Miss You, Biggie, I'm Missing You. And a couple other little classics on joints he got on there with the locks. Puff became a whole rapper after Biggie passed away. He let Life After Death do their numbers, and then he dropped his album right after that. Puff became, why you think Mace said he wanted to get the hell out of there? Because Puff became a rapper and everything after that. Puff done lost his rabbit ass mind. Why you think Mace seen that shit and he was out? Shout out to Mace. Shout out to Mace Betha, man. Shout out to Cam and Mace over there doing their thing on their podcast. Mace know I ain't talking. Mace know I ain't lying. That nigga hit my inbox one day 2 years ago when I spoke about this situation. And this is facts. And he kept it short. He said, I seen it before they seen it. He said something, I seen it before they sent it to me. Some shit like that. He said, you had it wrong, but I got up out of there. Mace knew what was going on. He speaks about it all the time. That's why I ain't sitting here lying. And I showed my homies and everything. Homies like, damn, that nigga hit the inbox. Hit my Smoke News inbox. Instagram. Let's continue, though. Let's get some more likes, man. Come on, let's get 100 likes, gang. We got 83 likes. Let's get 100 likes. Come on, man. We going back down memory lane, man. We in 96 tonight. Yeah, we in 96. So jump in the G-Ride. We riding 96 tonight. We got that Tupac vibe tonight. Yeah, that part. A little bit of Biggie too. We can't count Biggie out. I'm a very huge fan of Biggie Smalls. P. Diddy paid Keefe like Keefe said, and Gene Deal said, and said all this too. It ain't just Keefe. Gene co-signed it all 90. I think Gene know more than what the hell he was talking about. To be honest. I think Gene know more. It's a lot of shit Gene ain't putting out there that he don't want to put out there. And y'all got to understand, Gene didn't run with Puff throughout his whole years. He ran through it through that little moment, then that shit was over. So he only speaks about the moment that he know Puff on the streets and being his bodyguard. Nothing wrong with that. But you can't believe everybody what they tell you, though. I know that. Because let me tell you something about Gene, respectfully. And I rock with Onk. Shout out to Big Gene over there. Make sure y'all go follow him and subscribe. But if you know all that about Puffy, the secret rooms, the secret people in the industry he was dealing with, because you know Gene had a long. Gene's story was crazy throughout the 10 years. You telling me you was not involved in none of that type of action? You just an angel. You just played the angel bodyguard, the innocent bodyguard, and you know Puff from the streets before you became a bodyguard. That's what throws me off about Gene. He know all that shit Puff be doing, this, that, all this freaky shit, allegedly this. And I'm like, so you was an angel, nigga? You come from the streets too, nigga. You from St. Louis. You telling me you wasn't horny with Puffy either, nigga? You telling me you wasn't in the rooms either, huh? That's what you telling me, Gene? Cut it out, man. So it was certain things I was looking at Gene like, man, you got to be lying. Because we talking 90s. We ain't talking now where the girls will come out, females will hit you with a lawsuit and all this cameras all over the place, cameras on the phones. We talking 90s. 90s was a different era. 90s was a different era. They was getting away with a lot of shit back in the early 2000s too. So a lot of shit Gene be saying, it sound good. But I'm like, yo, champ, come on, man. You know way too much about Puff. You telling me you was involved in none of them type of activities? Nothing? You just played the little angel, the perfect bodyguard, huh? Come on, man. Cut it out. Yeah, Gene had his time. Gene, no. That's why that nigga over there laughing. He can't get mad at me like, man, that nigga smoke bugged out, but he know what he talking. Gene had his good old times. Yeah, him and Puffy had great old times. Believe me, they did. That nigga, though. Let's continue. We got 91 likes. I'm trying to get 100 likes to continue. Y'all, come on, man. What we doing out here tonight? I told y'all we gotta let Nolan Wells rest a little bit. That case, I mean, ain't nothing going on right now. We talking about Pac. That case, that trial starting next week. So we gotta get. We had to get to this. People want to say, "Oh no, man, it's already over." That's what they want. That's why they dragged this shit 30 years so you could think it's over. That part. The more you drag a case, the more you just be like, man, I'm just over that case. It's been 30 years. That's how they do it. They do it to the last, till your last legs can't run, nigga. And y'all, we all forget. How many cases come out now from the 1970s? Oh my God, breaking news. Elvis Presley or Marilyn Monroe. We found out what happened. They wait till everybody passed away. They in there 50 years later, they want to tell the whole true story now. That's how they do it. Let's get a couple more likes, man. We had 99 likes. Shout out to Mike P over there on Kick. Make sure y'all follow me on Kick. Make sure y'all follow me on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, everything. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Smash that like button. Do me that favor. That's a fact. And that's what I think Keefe D is doing. Keefe D is holding the people that's more higher up than him. And Keefe, some niggas, they just don't snitch. They stay 10 toes down. They go to their grave with that shit. And I think Keefe would rather put himself in that situation than bring more people that we ain't hear about. Because I believe there's other players that knew about it, they was involved in it, and they, come on, man. Come on. I thought about, man, I was thinking like that back in 96, man, when this shit first happened, bro. And same thing in Biggie in 97. If you gotta get rid of one, you gotta get rid of the other one. Let's continue. Let's get to the infamous interview, though. Y'all remember this MTV interview? When Snoop was sitting side by side with Pac and Pac running his mouth. We all know, man, rest in peace to Pac. I miss that brother. That brother right there, man. When we would go through these clips, it's going to bring y'all back to memory lane, man. We miss Pac. We really do down here. That dude ain't hold his breath for nobody, nigga. We're going to go to the infamous interview, MTV, and I want y'all to look at Snoop Dogg body language. Because y'all got to understand, right after that MTV interview, that's when he went to New York. He went to the next stopover. He did the interview with Angie Martinez after Pac was just running his mouth on this interview, and he was agreeing with Pac. But then he goes and does an interview with Angie 2 days later, something like that, a week later, some shit like that, and say, I ain't got no problem with Big and Puff and this. Basically, he was waving a white flag. I wonder who told you to do that. Because then a week later, a couple days later, Pac got unalive. They made you not to go down to Las Vegas. So you had to come up with something, a reason for you not to go to Las Vegas. And your narrative was to say that shit on the radio, because the next 30 years, you and another individual, y'all gonna be on top of the goddamn world from the East Coast to the West Coast. And that was you and Puff, nigga. I'm not stupid, bro, and everything I say is alleged. You gotta have a narrative to stay away on what's gonna happen. Y'all get what I'm saying? You have to have a narrative on what's going to happen for you to stay away from that. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, man. Share the video. Rest in peace to Pac, man.
West Coast, we got beef with. We coming out here and there's some East Coast, West Coast. We got beef with the people we got beef with. But we could go anywhere in the country because we are America's most wanted.
Exactly.
So you can't stop the flow.
Can't stop what America wants.
Right.
On that note, I know that Biggie and Puffy are here tonight. Did you see them? Do you have anything to say to them at all?
Nah, but even if we saw them, we are businessmen. We are not animals. It's not like we're gonna see them and rush them and jump on them. If they see us and they want drama, we're gonna definitely bring it like only Dev Row could bring it. But we here as businessmen to enjoy and
support the
Video Music Awards for MTV because they support us. So if they want to come and use this business opportunity to get on some gangster, you know.
And pardon me, the next day he did the radio show. It wasn't a few days because I forgot this MTV Video Music Awards was in New York. This was in New York. This when they flew back and all that. Let's get to it.
That better than men to enjoy and
support the
Video Music Awards for MTV because they support us. So if they want to come and use this business opportunity to get on some gangster, you know, we do that better than anybody.
Can you envision a day when, you know, y'all, if not get together and make an album, just peacefully coexist?
There's no dream of making an album with Biggie and Puffy or none of them. We're not sweating it like that.
This is our family.
We peacefully coexist right now because we all cool. Everybody's here. They sell records. We sell records. Well, I guess you could call that selling records. What they do, we sell large amounts of records, and they sell a few records. And really, there's no competition. People are really making too much out of it than it is. It's really just if you want to talk, we're going to make it specific as to what you talk about and what you can't talk about. And the East Coast, West Coast thing is something that the journalists and people are making up just to get paid off it so it can drag.
California, we go now to Illinois to Tanya. Tanya, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Yes, I want to give much props to BET and to you, Travis. To Snoop, I want to know, what is your relationship with Suge Knight and with Biggie Smile?
My relationship with Suge Knight, that's my CEO, my partner, my homeboy, my love, my business, my inspiration, my love. Biggie Smalls, he's an artist that I listen to his music, I love his work. There's no beef, it's nothing personal. I don't hate him and I don't disrespect him and I love what he do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just me, I'm just a smooth, peaceful individual. I don't have beef with nobody right now, baby.
No.
More as if I was side busted. So because I said I'm cool with Puffy and Biggie doing the interview with you. Tupac took it as if I wasn't down with him no more, as if I was side busted, as if I was scared. Death Row looked at me as like a traitor. The next day, actually I had to fly back home from New York. And normally on a private plane,
It be Pac, his security, me, my security, Suge, and a couple of his homies. This time I go to the airport, my security walking with me. Suge like, hold up, they can't roll. They gotta catch a regular flight. So now I'm like,
That's not a good sign.
okay. First of all, Pac ain't said to me though, from that moment on.
But everybody else has security.
Yeah, I seen it happen. I know how to get down.
I was just gonna say, that's what my mind was wondering.
I know how to get down.
Yeah.
I'm not a stranger to danger. I know what it is. So now I get on the plane. So now I'm looking around. Pac right here, a couple other right here. I'm like, what's up, Pac? And they do me like this. So I walk to the back of the plane, give me a blanket, grab me a knife and a fork, put the blanket over my nose right here, my little black glasses on, and ride like this the whole flight, hoping one of them come with me so I can stab out everybody on this mother. This is a 5.5 hour flight. Don't nobody say one word to me. Not one word. I was having conversations and doing all kinds of things. They ain't saying nothing to me. Now we land. My Rolls Royce, Tupac Rolls Royce, Suge Rolls Royce. We step off the plane. I'm like, Pac, you going to Vegas to the fight? I said, pfft. That's the last time I seen my life.
Now, for y'all don't know what's going on. After that MTV award, he did an interview with Angie Martinez back in '96. Right after that, he did a couple of interviews right after that. It wasn't on New York, so it was in New York though, and they had to fly together. So by the time he came back and did them interviews, saying that he ain't got no problem with Big and all this and Puff and all this, is what he told Angie Martinez. That's another clip we about to get to when we speak about that. Pac just was on award shows talking. He wasn't talking really crazy about Bad Boy, but he don't suspect you to go over there and wave the white flag right away the next day or two. After he just said like, yo, we here to do business, but they want to take it there, we could take it there. The way Snoop was talking, like he ain't want no problems. That's why I always say that was a narrative for him not to go to Vegas. Because he know Pac is a hothead and he know Pac ain't gonna be feeling that shit on what he did. Snoop ain't do that shit on his own. Somebody told you to do that. Because they knew that's the last time Pac gonna get back to LA. That Vegas that night, that was the last time Pac was leaving, nigga. So they make sure you and the Dog Pound don't go down there. Y'all gonna come up with a little story. Y'all know Pac a hothead. Hold up, y'all beefing. Yo, go to the radio show and tell them that you ain't got no problem with puffing them. You know when you get back, Pac ain't gonna be feeling that. And that's exactly what happened. I don't care what nobody said, bro. Because there's no reason for you to go on the radio station the next day or two and say that shit. For what reason? Y'all was just at the award shows talking about how y'all the most wanted. We here for business. But if niggas want drama, we could take it there. You agree with Pac, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, yeah. Come on, man. That shit is odd to me. Exactly, Isha. That shit is odd. If nobody don't find that strange, y'all ain't thinking out the box. Like I said, you got to make a narrative for you to get out of a situation that's about to happen. If it's plotted, allegedly. You can't put yourself in action. No, somebody going to give you the heads up and let you know. So now you got to spin a narrative and do something for you to get away from that. Now, say that shit would have never happened. Snoop would have went to Vegas. If Snoop never would have did that, Snoop he was right on that plane going to Vegas with Suge and all them niggas. And Daz said that shit. Daz from Dog Pound, he said that. He said when he got back from LA, Daz clearly said that. Pac obviously wasn't feeling it. When he got back with the Dog Pound, Daz said like, yo, we ain't going to Vegas. He's like, man, nah, we ain't going to Vegas, man. Because Snoop just told him what happened. And Snoop basically was uncomfortable. But that's a narrative for you to stay back. And how the hell you got these walkie-talkies and you can hear stuff from all the way in LA, all the way in Long Beach, whatever you was at, all the way in Las Vegas. And we're going to get to that because Suge Knight actually questioned you about that also. Only security had them type of walkie-talkies that night. And that was them little twerk shits, them little terps and shit. Come on, man. There's something odd about this shit. And I don't care what nobody say, bro. Let's continue.
That's why I wasn't in the car with them. They went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them. Because naturally, if you see all of the pictures around that time, it's me, Pac, and Suge. Everything is us three. After the New York trip, that's when it was just them two. Because I had made my decision on, I don't want to keep beefing with some niggas that we should be cool with.
You see, the older you get and the more years this shit go by, the more you're gonna slip up and say things like that. Because you wasn't saying that in the interview though when y'all was talking, Pac was talking all that shit. See, let me explain something to y'all people. What we looking at is not street politics. It's industry politics. And back in 1996 and 97, back in 95 going up to 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, hip hop was making so much money after Big and Pac passed away after that. There was no more beef. There was all. See, I got to bring y'all back to memory lane for y'all to understand what's going on here. For all my people in that era, we had hardcore music, grimy music. Pac passed away, Big passed away. We ain't got no more beefing going on. It's all kumbaya music. Everybody's celebrating hip hop. Everybody's happy in hip hop. More money's getting made. Because you don't got this little East Coast, West Coast. Let me tell you something. When you got shit going on like that, beef, that type of shit bring money, but that also could cause problems. So sometimes you got to get rid of the problems and start off some new stars. And hip hop made so much money at that time after they passed away and made so much money after the new generation came. The Jay-Z's, the DMX, the Ja Rules. Remember Ja Rule came out, what, like 2099? Hip hop took off like crazy. Puffy was even rapping. That nigga dropped the album right after Big died, nigga. Sometimes you gotta get rid of the headache. If it's too much headache involved, you gotta get rid of the headache. And Pac was a headache. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. And they sat down with Snoop allegedly and told that nigga, don't go down to Vegas, nigga. You ain't gonna tell me nothing different. Because like I said, they was trying to get two birds in that car. Pac and Suge. That's my opinion. But instead it didn't work out. So what they did, okay, we didn't get Suge. Let's finish his career off after this. We're gonna send him to jail. We're gonna strip everything away from death row, and that nigga gonna be broke after that. And that's exactly what happened. Can y'all agree? Got him on a violation, sent him to jail, and it was all over after that. And Snoop faded away, nigga. Let's continue. How many likes we got? Come on, man. Let's get 100 something more likes, man. Let's get like 20 more likes, bro. Come on, man. We over here going back. We're going back memory lane, nigga. We back here in 1996, nigga. We breaking 96 back, nigga. Rest in peace to Pop, nigga. Smash that like button, man. Come on, man. Stop playing out here. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That shit, yo, listen, listen. I'm only saying alleged, but y'all gotta understand how hip hop took off after that, bro. There wasn't no more headache. There ain't no more problems. Everybody's happy. Puff happy. Snoop happy. All the labels are happy. Jimmy Iovine happy, nigga. Russell, all these niggas at that time that own the label. Everybody's happy after that shit happened. Come on, man. Snoop took that deal. That's a fact. Tyrese Franklin, that's a fact. Nigga took that oath, nigga, allegedly. Let's get them likes up, man. Let's get 150 likes. Come on, gang. I'm trying to continue with y'all. Try to tell y'all, man. Pac was a headache, bro. He was causing too much. He was causing too much problem. You know I'm remind. You know who I'm remind y'all of Pac when you a headache and the industry don't want you to level up and they like, nah, you know what? We'll take your partner though. I'm about to remind y'all two other people, but it happened in a different type of way though. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Look at Jay-Z and Dame. Who was the headache? Who took off and who had to sit back? Who's not the headache? Who was the headache? Suge was a headache because Suge was extorting people. He was a bully. Get him out of here. We don't want him. Pop, headache. Snoop, laid back, quiet. Biggie, that's the sad part. Biggie, the sad part about Big, bro, he was none of that shit. But he just got caught up in a circle. I'll always believe that because when you get rid of one, you got to get rid of the other one. He said, I don't agree with Smoke. So what you agree on? The first narrative they gave you? I ain't here to listen. I'm not always right. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. This is what I think happened. You get rid of one, you gotta get rid of the other one. Yeah, Suge was a gangster, but they had to get rid of that nigga in the industry. They don't like gangster CEO niggas like Suge. Give me another Suge right now since Suge been away. I'll sit back and wait. Who was trying to be Suge recently and they smoked his dumb ass? I'll sit back and wait. Where he at right now? Rest in peace of Nipsey. Industry don't like that, nigga. They're gonna treat you like Suge. They're gonna send your ass to jail. They got Big U the same way. Big U came on try to be another Suge, nigga, in the industry. No, you got it all for a couple years, but now we're gonna get rid of you because we getting tired of you now. Y'all gotta understand, this is not street politics. It's an industry politics. Jay Prince, he knew how to play the game, and he been around since that time. And look, he's still standing. Look at all the black CEOs at that time, and look who's still standing. Jay Prince. But there's a reason though. There's a reason. All right, man. We got 100. Let's get 130. Let's get 130 likes. Come on, gang. Y'all holding back. Y'all ain't gonna show love to Pop. Oh, y'all see my face. Y'all like this, huh? I don't like that nigga. Nah, I don't like him. I don't like him. Now, man, smash that like button. Stop it. Come on, man. Smash that like button for Pop, man. Y'all love painting Big in the brighter light and demise Pop. Who said that? Lovely. Who said that, Lovely? Because I love Pac. I don't know what you talking about. I love both of them niggas. Oh, she must be talking about somebody in the chat because she ain't talking about me. I got Pac pictures too. That ain't the only picture I got. I got Pac pictures too. Shit, like, those my niggas, man. I grew up with Pac and Big. Shit, that's my era. Biggie situation, the same thing. She say that. I don't know. She's Lovely. What you talking about? She must be talking. She's talking about somebody in the chat. Who the hell demising Pop? I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened to Pop. She said, you said me? Oh, nah, you don't know I'm a Pac fan. You must be bugging. I still listen to All Eyes on Me. What the hell you talking about? Shit, that shit on my laptop. That shit on my speed. That shit on my playlist. Like, nah, you bugging, Lovely. You bugging the F out. You forgot, man. I love Pop, man. Pop a New York nigga. Let's get to that, nigga. Like, he a New York nigga first, nigga. Like, love Pop, nigga. Shit. I ain't never had Pac and Big. No, I ain't never choose one. I always had the Pac albums, always had Big albums. But the only one I was more related to was more to Big. Nothing wrong with that. But I kept Pac albums in my goddamn radio. I kept this music in my radio outside, walking around with the Sony and the Panasonic radios. You remember that shit, Lovely, if you old enough? Lovely, where you from? You remember that, right? When we used to be on the corners, we got the little Panasonic, little Sonys. We put the cassette in. That Tupac and all that. Then it went to the CD days. Oh yeah, we was outside bumping that shit. I love Pac, man. Yeah, man, those are the greatest that ever did it. She from Georgia, so you must be you got to be around my era then. They was doing that shit down there too with the Panasonics and the radios, walking to the store, whatever y'all was doing outside. You remember that era? You had to put the Duracell batteries and all that in the radio. I don't know how old are you, but I come from that era, man. We talking like, oh, you born in '85, so you know, ma. Shout out to Georgia, man. Shout out to your town over there, man. She know, she 85, she know. No skip CD player. You remember those days, man, huh? Yo, I remember that. I remember when they went to the CD days. Oh my God, nigga, I had to go get that radio with the CDs, nigga. Nah, man, like man, we was outside back then, bro. That was a different era, man. I miss our era, man. We was outside. There was a lot of love, peace, loyalty, all that shit, man. It was a different era back then, man. It was different back then. There wasn't no back door going on back in our days. You know what I mean? It wasn't none of that shit going on. We had better music. I mean, like that shit was different back then, man. Shout out to our era, man, for real, man. Rest in peace to our era. We miss you, baby, for real. 90s, man. You need to come back, man. Word up, man. For real. Let's continue though, gang. Smash that like button, man. Let's get 150 likes though. That shit was a beautiful era.
They went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them. Because naturally, if you see all of the pictures around that time, it's me, Pac, and Suge. Everything is us three. After the New York trip, that's when it was just them two. Because I had made my decision on, I don't want to keep beefing with some niggas that we should be cool with. And they wanted to keep the energy where it was. And that's why when we went to Vegas, that energy continued to follow them. And when we got...
Let me tell y'all something. Snoop is very young at that time. I think Snoop in his early 20s, if I ain't mistaken. That Pac was what, 25 when he passed away? So Snoop had because Snoop and Pac is like a year apart. I think Snoop said he was 24, 25. Let me tell you something. You can't stop a beef when you're just a rapper. You under a boss. You under Suge Knight and the whole Death Row Records. How do you think at the time? Now, you can hear Snoop talk now because he's big Snoop Dogg now. But how you think at that time that you thought you was going to go to New York a couple of days later after you just did the MTV Awards was Pac and Pac was talking this talk and you side by side with him, agreeing with him, and you thought you were just going, you just changed your mind that quick overnight? Y'all tell me how the hell that shit works. How the hell a game banger from LA, he know how this shit is. You an industry nigga too, because you a rapper, obviously. But how the hell you just change your mind a day or two and tell me I don't want to get involved? I'm gonna go to the Angie Martinez show and tell them I ain't got no problem with them. Like what? Let me tell y'all something, man. There's other ways of saying things if you don't want no problem. You see how Pac did that MTV award show? He said, yo, we not here for no drama. We here for business. But if they want to take it there, you know, we ain't got no problem, baby. You know what I mean? But he's promoting his album too. He promoting his song. He said, we're America Most Wanted over here. What Snoop did over there. Yeah, we're America Most Wanted. And then you just change your mind overnight like that? Nah. Y'all tell me who the heck. He's a game banger from Long Beach, California, 24, 25 years old. And you tell me after you did the MTV Awards, you just change your mind like that after the next day or two. Hell no. You know what happened? Somebody visit that nigga. That's what happened. Told that nigga go spin that story so your ass won't go to Vegas with Pac and because that's the last time we gonna see Pac, nigga. I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. Ain't nowhere in the world you change your mind the next day or two to my, yeah, you know, I don't want no more problems. Those my boys and all this. Nigga, you was just sitting on the biggest award show and Pop. And you just change your mind right after that, right? How about you go to them niggas and tell them like, yo, I'm gonna go do this on a radio show before you even did it? Because you know, once you do that shit, You already knew it was a play down there, bro. I don't care what nobody said, man. Snoop knew something. They came to him. They told him, don't go to Vegas and go up there and spit that bullshit ass narrative. Because when you get back, you're gonna, you know goddamn well Pac ain't gonna be feeling you, nigga. And that's exactly what happened. Come on, bro. I ain't trying here. Ain't no way in the man. Rick, man, listen, bro. Y'all not gonna tell me a young Snoop Dogg at that time just changed his mind one day, a day or two after that. That shit doesn't make no sense to me. Because you knew exactly what you was doing. When you went on that radio show, you knew once what you was gonna say, you knew that shit was gonna cause some problems with your own group, nigga. But you got your own clique, and that's a dog pound. That's why you didn't care about them niggas. Y'all always remember Death Row was always a little separation going on. Remember, they always said that you had the dog pounds over there, and you had the mob niggas over here with Suge, nigga. It wasn't always kumbaya over there in Death Row Records. Daz told y'all that story. Snoop told you that story. Suge told y'all that story. Reggie told y'all that story. And many more told y'all that story, how Death Row Records was in that building. So we ain't gonna sit and act like these niggas was all smoking blunts and kumbaya. Nah, that shit wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Snoop had his niggas, and when they came in as far as them. They group of niggas. Nate Dogg, rest in peace, and all them niggas. Nate even spoke about that. Every time we went to Death Row Records, man, we always came together. Long Beach, nigga. It wasn't no kumbaya with niggas. I believe Snoop Pie did wanted to save on Pac. I'm being honest. But I believe that's when you part of the industry, man, you part of the industry politics. It's either you with this shit or you're not. It's the same things with the streets, bro. There's no goddamn difference. Better go do y'all research. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. Let's continue, though. Smash that like button. We don't even got 150 likes, but it's cool, though, man. Come on, let's get 150 likes, man. Yeah, JJ, Snoop took the deal, then God knows what from. Come on, man. If you're a real hip-hop fan, you know that industry, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Some people don't believe in it. Become a star, nigga. You'll see what the hell I'm talking about. Come on, man. Let's get a couple of likes. We can't get 7 more likes. That's crazy to me. Let's get 7 more likes, man. Let's get 150 likes in the building. Do me that favor. God, they have that Febreze. That's what we got to do. Good. Better get that Febreze. That should be smelling good. Should be smelling good. All right, man. Let's get this shit going, man. Yeah, man, I know a lot of people got their own opinions, though, but, I'm just trying to let y'all think out the box, bro. Smash that like button. Let's continue.
And behind.
Oh, yeah, I want to show y'all this clip right here, right? This is 1999. Pac died in 96. Biggie died in 97. And they let 98 fall back a little bit. They became friends from the end of 98 all the way to 99 because they end up on a Steve Harvey show becoming best of friends after this. And y'all tell me ain't nothing wrong. Man, listen, let me tell y'all something, bro. Y'all can sit there and act like ain't nothing wrong with this shit if y'all want. But when both of y'all friends pass away from an East Coast and West Coast beef, the East Coast and West Coast, let me tell y'all something. I'm not kumbayaing with you 2 years later, a year and a half later. It's just not happening. I'm just sorry. That's just me. It's just not happening. My man just got assassinated in Vegas. A year later, my man get assassinated over there, and then his man get assassinated over there in L.A. And then a year and a half later, y'all over there kumbaya and acting like, what? No, Smoke. It's business. Exactly. Business. It's not street politics. It's business politics. So when people say it's just business, yo, you got to let it go. Bingo. Business politics. Industry politics. Not streets. Business. Just like people like to say, it's business, right? Let it go. Business. They did let it go. Now they move on. Successful 2 black niggas, pardon my language, that's holding the West Coast down now peacefully. And now we got on Diddy doing his music over here in the East Coast peacefully. There ain't no more headaches going on no more. And rest in peace to Big, because like I said, Big just got caught up in the jam. Because Big wasn't a headache. Puff just used them, my opinion. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's see this old little clip of these two on the Steve Harvey show back in 1999 after they 2 best friends got clock, clock, boom, and they got out of here. Now all of a sudden they kumbaya now. Okay.
I'm talking
Coast, West Coast beef. Coast, West Coast beef.
I swear.
Coast, West Coast beef.
I swear. We ain't coming to talk about nothing behind us. We come to talk about what's ahead of us.
Yeah.
We here to make a difference, you know what I'm saying? So we want y'all to stay in school and keep y'all heads in y'all books.
No doubt. Knowledge is power, y'all.
Because, you know, we're the future, so it's on us to make a change.
That's great. Look, I'd like to thank Snoop and Puff for stopping by and dropping this knowledge on.
There ain't no East.
We're the future and we're here to make a change. And that's when the whole industry changed once Big and Pac passed away. That's when we got DMX, we got Jay-Z, Nas been in there, but Nas, you know, Nas gonna be Nas. Then we got Ja Rule, we got happy music, then we got bubblegum music, we got all dancing music after that. It was peaceful. Then Snoop had to go down there and get his published back, so he had to go to Master P after that. Follow me on all platforms, man. Make sure y'all follow me on Kick, all platforms. Smash that like, subscribe to the channel, hype your boy up. Get your membership too. Join Team Smoke.
And we kept think we was playing a video game. And we kept think we was playing a video game. And we kept getting a whole bunch of calls and pages. Somebody told us to turn on the news, and we turned the news on, and we seen the little shit. I drove down there to the hospital because I wanted to see my playing a video game. And we kept think we was playing a video game. And we kept getting a whole bunch of calls and pages. Somebody told us to turn on the news, and we turned the news on, and we seen the little shit. I drove down there to the hospital because I wanted to see my nigga, you know what I'm saying, make sure he was straight. I'm thinking that he was gonna make it. I said a little prayer to him in his head and held his hand and whispered at him, you know, said my piece with him. You know, he didn't have no consciousness, but I felt like my spirit and his spirit connected, and I felt like he got it.
To Tupac's death, because where was you at, like, when you got that call? Because, like I said, that was like the first serious, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the cold shit about it is, I called Snoop. I said, Snoop. I said, because I was, at that time, I was single. The girl I was with, I had just broke up with her. And so I had my house, you know, I had a house to myself. Like, shit, nigga.
Now I want y'all to hear Warren G's story. Because in that first interview I just played y'all, Snoop said he was, I think I was somewhere playing video games, this and that. Like, this shit just weird to me. But Warren G said that Snoop came to his house. Warren said they was in the backyard barbecuing. They wasn't playing video games. Peep this shit out. See, I think I be tripping, right? All right.
Nigga, I'm a
That call, because like I said, that was like the first serious, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the cold shit about it is I called Snoop. I said, Snoop. I said, because I was, at that time, I was single. The girl I was with, I had just broke up with her. And so I had my house, you know, I had a house to myself. Like, shit, nigga, I'm a bachelor, nigga. What's up, Snoop? Come over.
Right.
You know, I'm just over here watching the fight. I'm invited a gang of people over. We're going to barbecue. He was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to Vegas with Tupac and them. They going out to Vegas for the fight. So I was like, damn, nigga, you don't never kick it with me. Shit, nigga, you know, moving around. So a couple hours went by in the house, just getting everything ready. Went to the store, started getting stuff ready. I heard a horn, bang, 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 honking in front of my house. So I looked out the house, excuse me, y'all. I looked out the house and Snoop was outside in a white motherfucking Rolls Royce with the peanut butter inside. It was clean with the top down. I was like, nigga, that's your shit? He was like, yeah, nigga, that's my shit. And he pulled up. He surprised me.
I said peanut butter interior in a rhyme and just went, I invite your shit, go ahead.
He straight surprised me. And so he came and hung with me, hung out. He let me drive that motherfucker. I was like, damn, even though I had a 600, but he let me drive that Bentley. It wasn't a Bentley, it was a Rolls Royce. He let me drive that motherfucker. And we just having a good time, barbecuing, having fun. And the fight was coming on. He came to fuck with me for the fight instead of going to Vegas.
So he never went to Vegas?
He never went to Vegas. He didn't go off top. So we watched the fight. We doing everything, watching the fight, having a good time. We was hanging out, you know, some females and shit around. They was hanging out, everybody chilling and just having a good time, you know, just. And then he got just like a gang of homies, gang of homegirls, and then it's like, then he had the next tail back then. Remember the motherfucker?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of next tail he had, but he had the motherfucker could go that whatever it was hitting him all the way from what was going on from Vegas. So he was.
Who put that there? Miss Special. He was his alibi. Because remember when Snoop said they hopped out the plane from New York, they all had Roy's voice? They all had their cars outside, and he said he was walking to his voice. He said he was walking to his big chunky G-Ride, and he said he looked at Pot, said, yo, Pot, you going to Vegas? And remember he said Pot looked at him and said, but you told Warren you was going to Vegas, but then you end up pulling up in your voice. But hold up. And your first interview that you ever did back in the days after that Tupac situation, you said you was playing video games or something. Oh, y'all think I'm tripping.
Playing a video game, and we kept think we was playing a video game. Playing a video game, and we kept think we was playing a video game, and we kept playing a video game, and we kept think we was playing a video game, and we kept getting a whole bunch of calls and pages. Somebody told us to turn on the news, and we turned the news on, and we seen the little shit. I drove down there to the hospital because I wanted to see my nigga.
Warren G said he got the information off the chirp. And Warren G said y'all was watching a fight. Who the hell played video games on the night of the Mike Tyson fight back in 1996? Ain't nobody playing video games. Warren G, see, that's what I said. When you let things drag on 30, 25 years later, they forget a little bit. Miss Special said it. They probably went back like, damn, why you said on me? I'm telling you, these people talk in the back end, bro. They try to make other people to make up the alibi. That's what's going on here. And I'm gonna show y'all another video when Suge Knight said that how the hell he even got a chirp. The only people at that night supposed to have that type of security chirps, nigga, was the security niggas. How Snoop got one all the way in Vegas? I mean, all the way in LA. Warren G said he got that information through the doo-doo. And ain't no need of warning a lie. That part. Shout out to Katrina. These niggas old, man. Rory ain't got to lie. He probably just slipping up and forgetting. That's all that is, but he's telling the truth. You see, when you're trying to run a narrative and you're trying to protect that narrative, you the one that got to protect that, meaning Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg got to protect that narrative for the next 30, 25 years. He just got to try to make other people believe, put him in an alibi or whatever. If y'all don't think that shit don't exist, these all industry rappers. Warren G's an industry rapper also. I'm telling y'all, Suge and Pac was a headache. Suge was definitely a headache in the West Coast. So you was playing video games, you said, on Snoop? Okay, we're going to go back to Warren G. Let's finish Snoop again, though, y'all. How many likes we got? Come on, man. Let's get 200 likes. Let's smash the count, y'all. We going back 1996 up in here. Y'all might as well, pour a little yak. Rest in peace to Pac and Big. Yeah, it's a lot of shit still going on. Keefe D just ain't the only player.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure he was straight. I'm thinking that he was playing a video game. And we kept thinking we was playing a video game. And we kept getting a whole bunch of calls and pages. Somebody told us to turn on the news, and we turned the news on, and we seen the little shit. I drove down there.
We seen the little shit. Yeah, we seen that little shit.
Hospital. Playing a video game. And we kept thinking we was playing a video game. And we kept getting a whole bunch of calls and pages. Somebody told us to turn on the news, and we turned the news on, and we seen the little shit. I drove down there to the hospital. Because I wanted to see my nigga, you know what I'm saying, make sure he was straight. I'm thinking that he was gonna make it. I said a little prayer to him in his head and held his hand and whispered at him, you know, said my piece with him. You know, he didn't have no consciousness, but I felt like my spirit and his spirit connected, and I felt like he got it.
That's a fact. Suge, listen, Janaea, you right about that. Shout out to Janaea. I think if I'm pronouncing your name right, Janaea. You right. Suge ain't got nothing to do with Pac and Snoop energy. You right. You absolutely. Because Suge said, they said, man, whatever was going on between Pac and Big at that, Pac and Snoop at that time, Suge said he ain't had nothing to do with that shit. He said what Snoop did at the radio station, he said, I was going to talk to him when we got back to LA. Am I lying here? Put it in the, I should have got that goddamn interview because Suge said that one in this interview. He said, I wasn't even worrying about that shit. He said, I was going to holler at the little homie when we got back to to Death Row. And be like, and I was going to ask him why you even said that on the radio station. You know how Pac is. This came out of Suge's mouth. Suge said that shit. He said he was going to talk to Snoop back at the studio, back at the station, back at the building, and tell him this. He said he was going to tell Snoop why you do that interview with Angie and said that because you know how Pac feel about them niggas. I'm not making this shit up. Suge said this shit, I think about 1, 2, 3 interviews. So shout out to Janaea for saying that because absolutely Suge had nothing to do with that at that moment. What he did. Suge said he was going to talk to him and say like, yo, you know how Pac feel about that. Why would you even say that on the radio station? Now, I'm not saying Suge was going, that's exactly what he was going to do, but he said that clearly in about 1, 2, 3 interviews. And I should have pulled one of them up because he got a couple of interviews. This shit crazy, yo. And Snoop body language, yeah, you know, playing video games and shit. All right, so let's get to the big homie Warren G. And he said y'all was barbecuing, watching the fight, nigga. Y'all had a whole gathering. And he said your phone kept going off. Your chirp. Let's get to the OG Warren G. Something spooky about this. I've been said it.
They was like, we could hear
you at like when you got that call, because like I said, that was like the first serious, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the cold shit about it is I called Snoop. I said, Snoop. I said, because I was, at that time, I was single. The girl I was with, I had just broke up with her. And so I had my house, you know, I had a house to myself.
Thank you, Miss Special, because I don't want people to think I'm lying. Suge said from that New York trip, he was going to talk to Snoop at Suge at the studio at the station, nigga, Death Row. And he was going to talk to Snoop by himself. This according to Suge. And he clearly said, why did you do, this what he said he was going to ask Snoop. I don't know how true it is, but he coming out of Suge's mouth, he said he was going to ask Snoop, why the hell you do that interview? Because you know how Pac feel about them niggas. Somebody told Snoop to do that shit. I ain't trying to hear none of that because that got him a reason not to go to Las Vegas. Let's continue. Remember, Snoop said he was playing video games and shit when he got the news that Pac got shot. Warren G got a different story though.
That was like the first serious, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the cold shit about it is I called Snoop. I said, Snoop. I said, because I was, at that time, I was single. The girl I was with, I had just broke up with her. And so I had my house, you know, I had a house to myself. Like, shit, nigga, I'm a bachelor, nigga. What's up, Snoop? Come over.
Right.
You know, I'm just over here watching the fight. I'm invited a gang of people over. We're going to barbecue. He was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to Vegas with Tupac and them. They going out to Vegas for the fight.
On that part right there, that's the part I want to know. Did he talk to Snoop before they came back to the LA, before he did the interview? Or did he talk to Snoop after he did that interview and he took that flight back with Tupac and Suge back to LA? And remember, he said he was in the back of the plane with a fork and a knife or some shit for 5 hours. And Suge and them was in the front. That's the shit I want to know. Did he talk to him before the interview or after the interview? Warren G don't really clear that out right there. So that's something for us to figure out. Because Warren G saying that Snoop told him on the phone like, yo, nah, I'm gonna go to Vegas with him. I'm gonna go to Vegas with these niggas. But then remember, after he did the interview in New York before they came back to LA, when he did the interview with Angie Martinez, everything got effed up after that. Pac and them looked at him crazy. They jumped on the plane, whatever, private jet, whatever. Snoop said he sat all the way in the back, and there was no talking for like 5.5 hours.
I was like, damn, nigga, you don't never kick it with me, shit. Nigga, you invite a gang of people over, we're gonna barbecue. He was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to Vegas with Tupac and them. They going out to Vegas for the fight. So I was like, damn, nigga, you don't never kick it with me, shit. Nigga, you know, moving around. So a couple hours went by in the house, just getting everything ready. Went to the store, started getting stuff ready. I heard a horn, bang, 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 honking in front of my house. So I looked out the house, excuse me, y'all. I looked out the house and Snoop was outside in a white motherfucking Rolls Royce with the peanut butter inside. It was clean with the top down. I was like, nigga, that's your shit? He was like, yeah, nigga, that's my shit. And he pulled up. He surprised me.
I said peanut butter interior in a rhyme and just wanted to invite your shit. Go ahead.
He straight surprised me. And so he came and hung with me, hung out. He let me drive that motherfucker. I was like, damn, even though I had a 600, but he let me drive that Bentley. It wasn't a Bentley, it was a Rolls Royce. He let me drive that motherfucker. And we just having a good time, barbecuing, having fun. And the fight was coming on. He came to fuck with me for the fight instead of going to Vegas.
So he never went to Vegas?
He never went to Vegas. He didn't go off top. So we watched the fight. We doing everything, watching the fight, having a good time. We was hanging out, you know, some females and shit around. They was hanging out, everybody chilling and just having a good time, you know, just. And then he got just like a gang of homies, gang of homegirls, and then it's like, then he had the Nextel back then. Remember the motherfucker? Yeah. I don't know what kind of Nextel he had, but he had the motherfucker could go that whatever it was hitting him all the way from what was going on from Vegas. So they was like, we could hear the shit, and then he started getting calls and shit, and they was telling him that Tupac got shot and da-da-da-da-da, this, that, and this. So Snoop, I kicked everybody out. Get the fuck out of here, everybody, get out of here. And then he took off. That's when he went to Vegas to go see him, to get out there to see what was going on. And that's when he went out there, when he went to the hospital. But if I wouldn't have talked to him and got him to come over to my house, he probably would have been right there in the car with them. Wow. Yep, and been shot too as well.
Gotta have a conversation with. You know, I really gotta have a real conversation with Snoop. The reason why I gotta have a conversation with him about is that I've been doing that young dude a long time. I did everything in my power to make sure he kept his freedom.
For almost 2 years, Snoop has been out on $1 million bail paid by Death Row Records.
And I knew that Pac did everything right by him by putting him on All Eyes on Me, speaking about him and being real with him. And if it's true what they say, face to face is gonna be a lot of explaining to do. Warren did a thing and he said that Snoop had a radio. He was at Snoop house when the shit happened.
I looked out the house and Snoop was outside. Then he had this the next tail back there. Remember the motherfucker? Yeah. That whatever it was hitting him all the way from what was going on from Vegas. And then he started getting calls and shit, and they was telling him that Tupac got shot and da-da-da-da-da, this, that, and this.
Only way you would have a radio if you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail. Now, not having a security detail, what are you doing with the radio?
Can I ask y'all that question? Shout out to Suge Knight, man. It's crazy because we always had that theory that we always felt Suge had something to do with it. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I always felt that too, growing up, throughout the years, all that. But when you get older and you start looking at shit, and you start looking at little details, you start going back, looking at the interviews, you start hearing them. Sometimes it's good to go back and hear old interviews and old shit. That shit was deeper than that, y'all. Like I said, I think they wanted both of them gone in that car. Suge just ended up surviving somehow. And remember, there was a theory that, I remember this stupid ass theory came out and I actually believed it. Because I remember, and people probably gonna remember this. Y'all remember when Suge got hit in the head? I remember. Hey, yo. How the hell I felt for this shit? I remember they said, nah, man, because whoever hit Suge, they knew not to kill him and shit. So they knew, they knew exactly where to hit him at. Yo, I ran with that shit for so many years, and I actually believed that shit, bro. That Suge got hit, but they hit him because they knew exactly where to hit him at, not to unalive him. I said, nah. When I got older, I said, hell no. I said, they tried to kill both of them niggas in that car. Suge really loved Pac, bro. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I don't know as far as the business, how they did it. But when I go back and look at a lot of interviews of Suge, and for him to question Snoop how you got that chirp, while Warren G bringing this up, that's something to question, bro. You came up with a story back in the day saying that you was playing video games or something when you got that information. I just played it multiple times. But then Warren G saying that you was at his house. It was a whole gathering. Y'all was watching the Tyson fight. And your chirp and all that kept going off. And you got all the information off your phone, chirp the radio. And that shit wasn't a phone back then. That shit was more of a radio. They ain't make them chirps into a phone later on, a couple of years later, if all my street niggas know what I'm talking about. And we talking after 2000. By 2000, 2001, 2 and all that, that's when the Netflix chirps, they became phones. They wasn't phones back in 96. Them shits was radios. Do y'all research. Do y'all research. Because I fell in love with them chirps when they came out as phone carriers. Because you had a phone number and you was able to chirp. Back in 96, them shits wasn't like that. That shit was, Netflix wasn't even, that shit was radios. Janae said, cut it out. You ain't from the streets then, you don't know. How old are you? How old are you? Respectfully, how old are you? Because I'm about to get your ass out of here. How old are you? I'll let you survive for a couple. I'll let you survive a little bit. You ain't gonna tell me about Netflix chirps. Them shits ain't became phones until later on. Back in 96, them shits was more radio. Them shits was more truck and radio chirps. What the hell are you talking about? She gonna tell me something out. Like, man, girl, you know, man, I've been off the porch. Nextels, exactly. They became later on as phone carriers popular in 2000 and up. Come on, bro. Them shits was radios back in 96 and down. What are we talking about? Niggas had beepers in 96. What the hell are we talking about? Thanks for correcting me, because you know I ain't always right. Nextel. Because when Nextel came out as phone carriers, man, I had every color. I had the yellow and black, all yellow, all black. I had the blue. I had all them colors. Ask my day ones. They'd tell you, man, we fell in love with them chirps, nigga. Go to New York or Harlem. We got some Harlem people in the building. Every time you went to Harlem on Broadway, that's all you heard, nigga, was chirps, nigga. If you go back to Jim Jones' record back in early 2000, 2001 and 2 and all that, when he first came out with the album, On My Way to Church, go back to one of them songs, nigga. On Broadway, that's all you heard was chirps, nigga. How you think I know that? Brr, brr. Get okay, nigga, where you at? Brr. Get okay, nigga, where you at? Them shits was trap phones, bro. Why you think them shits don't exist? Why you think they had to get them out the market? It was hard to tap them shits. Why you think Nextel they had to get them out? They couldn't tap Nextel phones. They had the chirps. So where you at, Janaea? Oh yeah, now she's laughing at somebody else. She said glass. I don't know what she's talking about. You must be loopy tonight. Janaea. Janaea loopy tonight. Janaea.
All chilling. We all chilling.
Right.
We on the West Coast. Tupac brought Biggie with him. We rock. All chilling. We all chilling.
Right.
We on the West Coast. Tupac brought Biggie with him. We rocking. We let Cug get down with us. We go in the back, smoke, chill, hang out. It's beautiful.
When did it go sideways?
Once Pac got shot. When he got shot, he felt like they did it, but...
And this was when he got shot in New York.
Yeah.
Before he got shot in Vegas.
There you go right there.
Yeah.
And now...
So he felt like someone from the West Coast was involved.
No.
Or from the
like,
East Coast, rather. Excuse me.
Yes. And later information came out that the people that he thought did it had nothing to do with it.
So by him accusing people of it, it kind of set things off.
And then by him being bailed out by Death Row Records, and Death Row Records adding more gasoline to the fire, and him being a part of the most gangsterous label in the world that his opposition didn't want no issues with.
Right.
It only egged it on, as opposed to, let's find a resolution. No, let's keep making it more of a problem. The last time I saw him, he was laying in the bed, holding on to his last breath. Man. Well, I had seen him before that because we left New York. We had just left New York. I had got off the radio station with Angie Martinez, and that's when me and him like clashed because she asked me on the air, how do you feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I said what I felt. They're my homeboys. I love them. When I got back to the hotel, it was a whole nother atmosphere. Like, he sent his homeboy up to get the bud from me as opposed to him coming to get it. Mutar came and got the bud. Pac wants some bud. Hold on. Tell him to come up here. He ain't coming up here. Give me the bud. I'm going to take it to him. So I felt funny. Time I saw him, he was laying in the bed. The last time I saw him, he was laying in.
Shout out to Rock for that $5 cash app, man. Appreciate that, Rock. Shout out to Rock for that $5 cash app. Appreciate that. Anybody want to support the channel? We donate to the channel, man. We got the cash app. We got the super chat. Also, get your membership. Get down with Team Smooth. Or, hold up, or y'all can do this. Smash the like button. That junk is free. Come on, man. Smash the like button. Let's get 200 likes, man. Let's count the count.
The last time I saw him, he was laying in the bed, holding on to his last breath. Man. Well, I had seen him before that because we left New York. We had just left New York. I had got off the radio station with Angie Martinez, and that's when me and him like clashed because she asked me on the air, how do you feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I said what I felt. Them my homeboys, I love them. When I got back to the hotel, it was a whole nother atmosphere. Like, he sent his homeboy up to get the bud from me as opposed to him coming to get it. Mutar came and got the bud. Pac wants some bud. Hold on. Tell him to come up here. He ain't coming up here. Give me the bud. I'm going to take it to him. So I felt funny. The last time I saw him.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Pac used to act like a big homie, boy. Pac used to act like a whole big homie, man. For real, man. That shit crazy. $1,000 to turn them on. He said they helped Pac get away. You think Pac's still alive? People think Pac's still alive. That shit crazy. He said, nah, Mutar did that himself. Shout out to Power. He said Daz know what happened. That's a fact, Daz know what happened. Shout out to Daz, though. Somebody said Mutar did that to himself. Me too. When he talk about Mutar, he talk about, he ain't talk about Napoleon, right? I think Mutar somebody different. I think Napoleon, I think Napoleon's different. Bro, Smoke Pac was a big homie. Yo, he was a big homie to them niggas. He used to be selling Snoop, man. You could tell, man. You could tell. He said Snoop not a real buddy. Hell no, he ain't. How you go to Angie Moore? Or somebody said that's Gaddafi, Mutar. How the hell you see, this why I get pissed off at. Because Snoop want to act like, he Snoop now. Everybody, dummy, Pac, Daz, Suge, in jail, whatever. So he gonna act like big cocky Snoop because Snoop worth a lot of money. Yeah, man, I just went up to the radio station. I went up there to say the way I wanted to say. I got tired of it. You see the way he said? You wasn't feeling like that, though, when Pac was alive 30 years ago, nigga. Somebody told you to go. Hold on, let me play that shit again. This niggas look so confident on what he did. Talking about, man, I ain't care what them niggas think. I went up there to go, nah, man, because I ain't got no problem with them. But you was just on the MTV Awards talking about. Let's go back to this, and then we're going to go back to the MTV Awards. And y'all think I'm tripping? All right.
The last time I saw him, he was laying in the bed, holding on to his last breath. Man. Well, I had seen him before that because we left New York. We had just left New York. I had got off the radio station with Angie Martinez, and that's when me and him like clashed because she asked me on the air, how do you feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I said what I felt.
You see he all nonchalant with it? I said what I felt. Yeah, you want to say that now, right? Hold up.
Homeboys, I love on the air. How do you feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I said what I felt. Them my homeboys, I love them. When I got back to the hotel, it was a whole nother atmosphere. Like, he sent his homeboy up to get the bud from me as opposed to him coming to get it. Mutar came and got the bud. Pac wants some bud. Hold on.
We coming out here and there's some East Coast, West Coast. We got beef with the people we got beef with. But we America's.
I want y'all to understand, this award show was in New York. You just heard Pop. We came out here. Snoop went to the effing radio station the next. And y'all ain't telling me this some goddamn industry politics. How you go from the MTV Awards standing next to your man that you love, and he's not talking crazy. We're gonna get to it. Pop wasn't even talking crazy. He said we came here for business. But if they want to take it there, we can take it there. You see Snoop on the side of him, yeah. And then the next day you going Angie Martinez and you talking about, yeah, I felt how I felt. I mean, I love them niggas. So why you ain't say that when Pac was talking then? Why you ain't stop Pac at the MTV and was so like, nah, man, you know what, man? We here for peace, man. I love them niggas. Why you ain't do that when Pac was doing that next to you at the MTV Awards? Because the MTV Awards was in New York. And you did the interview while you was in New York with Angie Martinez. I remember that shit. Why you ain't do that shit when Pac was talking right now? Why you ain't? Nah, man, you know what? When Pac said we here for business, why you ain't say, yeah, we here for business. We love them niggas. Why you ain't say that? You see, back then, I was a kid when I watched this shit. But since I'm grown now and I look through the mirror, nigga, you look at this MTV award. This is in New York. He did the Angie Martinez show the next day or two before they went back to LA. Who the hell changed their minds and go on a New York show talking about I love them niggas? But these are niggas you get money with. These are niggas that got your back. These are niggas that you're signed with. These are niggas that you gotta go back home with. How you gonna say you love them niggas and those my niggas and this and that? And y'all telling me this ain't no industry politics, that somebody came to Snoop Dogg and told that nigga to go do that shit because that's a narrative for him not to go to Vegas? Oh, let me repeat myself since people think I'm bullshitting. Y'all gonna tell me this ain't no industry politics, allegedly, and everything I say on this video is alleged. This is my opinion. Y'all gonna tell me that this ain't no industry politics, that somebody came to Snoop and told him to go do that shit so he won't end up in Vegas. How you change your mind less than 24 hours and go on a radio station and talking about those my niggas, this and that and the third? Them niggas shot your trailer up 8 months before that. Oh, y'all forgot they shot Snoop trailer up damn near a year before that when he did the New York video? Hello. I better stop playing with me, man. I come from that industry. Snoop a whole snake, man. And I don't care what nobody say, allegedly. That nigga knew exactly what was gonna go down in Vegas, and somebody told that nigga to go to that goddamn radio station and spin that narrative now that I'm a grown-ass man, and I could see that little... Yeah, I could see that. Back then, I was a kid. I couldn't see what was going on. Shout out to Nate, man, for that $5 cash app, man. Shout out to Nate, man. I appreciate that, champ. Shout out to the homie Nate for that $5 cash app, because I could tell he's from that era. He said, good news, man. Because he know we from that era. A lot of us was blind, bro. A lot of us was effing blind back then. Nigga go to an MTV award shows, and then you go to Angie Martinez the next day or two talking about, yeah, you know, those my niggas. And I remember that interview, yo, because I'm from the East Coast. Anybody from the East Coast that's my Asian up, they remember that interview. That shit was on the radio. And I remember when I heard that shit, I said, what? I said, Pac was just on the MTV award show. That's when I knew there was something wrong. And we talking 1996. I was a teenager. A young teen, mid-teen. I want y'all to look at this MTV award show. This happened in New York. He went to the Angie Martinez show a day or two after, before they went back to LA. But I want y'all to hear Pac what he's saying in this MTV award show. We came in for business. This one you should have tapped in the back, said, yeah, I love them niggas. We came in for business. Since you want to go on Angie and talking about you love them niggas.
America's most. We coming out here and there's some East Coast, West Coast. We got.
Look how this clown look. The nigga look like, look at his face, bro. Come on, man. That nigga's an industry nigga. That nigga's, man, listen, y'all. Let's continue, man. Rest in peace to Pac, bro.
Beef with the. We coming out here and there's some East Coast, West Coast. We got beef with the people we got beef with. But we could go anywhere in the country because we are America's most wanted.
And I want y'all to hold up because after this video, he did another interview on BET, and that was in New York also. Y'all got to remember, back in 1996, a lot of stations was located in New York. BET had their own station in New York back in the mid-90s also. Y'all can do y'all research. He did an interview with Angie Martinez, and he also did an interview with somebody else on BET.
We coming out here and there's some East Coast, West Coast. We got beef with the people we got beef with. But we could go anywhere in the country because we are America's most wanted.
Exactly.
So you can't stop the flow.
Can't stop what America wants.
Right.
On that note, I know that Biggie and Puffy are here tonight. Did you see them? Do you have anything to say to them at all?
Nah, but even if we saw them, we are businessmen. We are not animals. It's not like we're gonna see them and rush them and jump on them. If they see us and they want drama, we're gonna definitely bring it like only Dev Row could bring it. But we here as businessmen to enjoy and
support the
Video Music Awards for MTV because they support us. So if they want to come and use this business opportunity to get on some gangster, we do that better than anybody.
Can you envision a day when, y'all, if not get together and make an album, just peacefully coexist?
There's no dream of making an album with Biggie and Puffy or none of them. We're not sweating it like that.
This is our family over
We peacefully coexist right now.
What he just said? What he just said? Do ask him a question. Do y'all ever see yourself doing music with Bad Boy Records, Biggie and Puffy? Snoop said, nah, it's our family over here. But then a day or two, you change your mind and go on Angie Martinez show? For what reason? Pac had that energy, right? Rest in peace. I swear, I miss Pac energy, boy. I miss Pac energy. What reason you change your mind less than 24 hours, 72 hours, to go on Angie and go on another BET show and say that you ain't got no problems with these niggas? Why you ain't say that shit when Pac was running his mouth right next to you? You a big homie. You and Pac on a year apart. You said the same shit. You always say that Pac just had more knowledge than you. We all know that. Pac got a lot. Pac had too much knowledge at that age of 25. When Pac died? 25, right? Yeah, Pac died 25. Big died 24. If I ain't mistaken. Yeah, Big died 24. Pac was 25, and I think Snoop was 25 or 24 at this time. This is a young Snoop Dogg. We talking 25 years old Snoop, no more than 26, because Pac was 25. I think Big was 24 going on 25. How you change your mind, though? That's my main question to everybody that think that, oh, man, smoke you. How the hell does nigga change his mind less than 72 hours on going to a radio show and talking about I ain't got no problem with these niggas? And then a few days later, less than a week later, whatever, a few days later, Pac get unalive on Las Vegas. And Snoop decide not to go down there. And then Snoop got a radio chirp and hearing everything that's going on all the way in Vegas. And he all the way in California. I just played the interview with Suge. That's an old interview. He got multiple interviews on that on the phone. And he clearly said that. How the hell you even get that? How you even got connect with the security down here? That part. So for people saying, oh, nah, everybody got them church back then. No, it's the connect. How you got the connect detail all the way from Las Vegas and you in California? Is either he was connected with the security niggas or he was connected with somebody inside that group that I keep saying. Keefe, yeah, listen, bro. I'm gonna shut up, bro. It's deeper than I'm telling y'all, man. There's way Keefe going away with this shit 10 toes down. He don't care if he lose trial or he don't care. He ain't gonna talk on them other niggas, man. He ain't gonna talk on them other niggas. Go to an interview with Keefe D, and Keefe D said him and Snoop was very close. There's an interview out there where they asked him what's his connection with Snoop, and he said, we both Crips, and I was getting money back then because Keefe was a heavy hitter back then. We can't take that from Keefe D. He was a heavy hitter. He had connections from East Coast, all types of shit, allegedly. And he spoke about him and Snoop connection. They was tight around that time also. Pause. So how Snoop got a whole Nextel chirp and find out what's going on there? According to Snoop, his first interview, he said he turned into the news and see the little shit that was going on. But according to Warren G, there was a gathering at his crib and they was watching the Tyson fight that night, and his chirp kept going off. He picked it up, and that's when everybody in the gathering found out what happened to Tupac in Las Vegas, according to Warren G. So where the hell you was playing video games at? Where the hell that narrative come from? Somebody said it. Long Beach and Southside Crips. Y'all can put it together. Y'all niggas know I ain't tripping, bro. I'm not even from out there. I just follow the music. I follow hip hop. I follow the decades of generations. I go back to Snoop when he had certain niggas down with his group. It wasn't just a dog pound. Remember, Snoop started signing other people. And I wasn't getting jiggy with that shit, but I always followed Snoop's career. But I always knew his shit wasn't right. Because all of a sudden, Snoop became the godfather of the mother effing West Coast once Pac went away. He became this. Y'all got to remember, man, when you talk about California, Pac wasn't from Los Angeles. Pac is from the Bay Area. So, New York, Baltimore, Bay Area. That's Pac journeys. New York, Baltimore, then he landed into the Bay Area. And the Bay Area know I'm not even talking no bullshit. They know, I guarantee you, anybody from my age and up in the Bay Area, they're going to tell you, Pac got straight backdoor that night. If I'm lying, anybody from the Bay Area in my chat, they're going to say, nah, you not lying. Pac a Bay Area nigga. He wasn't an LA nigga. He just put LA back on the map. He put the whole California back on the map. Stop playing with my boy Pac, man. New York, Baltimore, Bay Area. Then came back to New York, caught up in some bullshit with Haitian Jack and all them niggas. Y'all know the history. He got shot up in the studio. He blamed Big and them all. I believe Big ain't had nothing to do with that studio. But I'm gonna tell you one person I believe that he knew that shit was gonna happen. Puff. Allegedly. When that shit happened at the studio in New York, I always believed that Big ain't had a clue. You gotta remember, Big and Pac are kids at the time. Pac got way more knowledge than on Big, though. He was in the industry way a little longer than Big. He know Puff. Y'all remember when Pac got an interview and he said that he told Big to get away from Puff? Remember when Little C said that shit? Remember when Little C's that Pac, he said that Pac used to tell Big, when you start doing what you do, get away from that dude. I'm not making this shit up. Shout out to Little C's. Let me tell you something. If y'all know the history between Puffy and Pac, y'all know what I'm talking about. This before Biggie even came in the picture. Y'all got to remember, Pac been in the industry for a very long time before Biggie even came in the picture. Pac met Puff way before Puff signed Big, y'all. Puff was under Uptown Records back in the early 90s. Pac was already in the industry. He had juice. He had poetic justice. He was under the digital under. He was already in the loop. Puffy already seen Pac. They had female problems. Y'all hit, okay, y'all want to go back to Big Gene? Because somebody say, yo, Big Gene, Big told a story. Okay, remember when Big Gene said that Puff got his whole style from Pac? Hello. And you could clearly see that. Big Gene said this. And he's the bodyguard. You know, he was the one that he's an angel. He ain't do nothing. Yeah, he said that. He said Puff, he copied Pac whole style. He chased the same woman's, all that shit. Go back to Biggie video, Juicy. Gene said that he bit, oh, I get around. Remember when Pac had that video, I get around, he had everybody jumping around and all that? Go back and look at Biggie on video. Similarities. According to Big Gene, because Big Gene was the bodyguard at the time, according to him, he said that Puff took his whole idea. He took that whole video idea from Puff on Tupac video. I get around. That's how you got Juicy. But you got Juicy. You got Get Around 2.0. Go back and look at I Get Around. They in a pool. They jumping. They wilding out. That shit look just like Juicy video. Am I lying? My error, no, I'm not lying. Go to Pac video right now. I Get Around. I think that's the video, right, y'all? I Get Around. They in a pool. They bugging out. And go to Juicy. Same thing. Similarities. Pac had his video before that. Puffy was jealous of that nigga, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. He just dragged Biggie involved in this. Y'all got to remember, I'm a Biggie Small diehard fan. Biggie said he never had a problem with Pac. He said the only reason he started attacking Pac when Pac started talking about Puff first. Then he went at Pac and Pac started dragging Big involved now after that. But Big said he was only being loyal to Puff because he's the rapper and that's his boss. They do that right now. What are we talking about? They do that right now till we talk, they doing that. So Biggie wasn't wrong what he did. He was holding his man Puff down. If y'all go back, Pac was different. He was dissing Puff first. Once Big came out with a subliminal message diss, Pac caught on to that. And Pac said, okay, now I'm going to diss you now, nigga, you fat ass. You know how Pac was playing? Pac went all the way in on Big. Said, nigga, the only reason you rocking Versace because of me. That's facts. Go back to Pac, man. That nigga was rocking Versace way before these niggas was rocking Versace. And we talking to New York Pac. We ain't talking California Pac. Pac was rocking Versace back in New York. Why you think he mentioned that shit in his diss videos against Big? Y'all got to remember, he talking about California. He can't be talking about California because by the time he landed in California, the beef was already on. Pac was rocking all that Versace shit back in New York. You got to remember, he got connections in California because he's from the Bay Area. So he should bring that style from the California, Versace and all that. He should bring that shit back to New York. There's old pictures of Pac in New York by rocking Versace's, all that. Go do your research. With the Timbs, nigga. Nigga was rocking Versace with the Timbs, nigga. Come on, man. Pac kept that shit real, man. Pac got roots in California. He from the Bay Area. You know all that designer shit back in the 90s. That shit was in California heavy. Still is. How you think he was talking that Versace shit? Why you think he blasted big and said, nigga, the reason why y'all rocking that shit, because y'all seen me rocking that shit when I was in New York. Rest in peace to Pac, man. We having a good night, man. We don't even got that many people here. We got the average, 250, 251. Smash that like button though, man. I appreciate that. What's good, Liddy? Nah, man, we talking about this Pac, man. Told you, man, I'm bringing y'all back to 96, 97 over here, man. He said, I'm from Cali. I'm from the Dago. Okay. So everything I'm saying, Mill Hustle, keep it real. Everything I'm saying about Pac, ain't this shit facts? He's a Bay Area nigga. New York, Baltimore, Bay Area. Then came back to New York. Then got locked up, went to Clinton for that bullshit when they set him up with the female in the hotel. Yo, let me tell you something. Pac's whole destiny was a setup. He never touched that female in that hotel. They set that nigga up and put the whole blame on that nigga. They wanted Pac out of here from, see, people got to, see, this is the thing I'm trying to, and I'm glad we having this type of night. I'm really am. I'm really happy we having this night. Because I gotta bring like my opinion to this. I'm not gonna say facts, my opinion. Because I'm a hip hop dude. And I've been following these two individuals when they first came out. Heavy. Especially Pac, bro. Pac came out way before Big. And everybody could agree on that. Nigga was already a star, nigga. But when Big came out, he was already a star, nigga. Why you think Pac was to bring him on when he used to do his shows in New York? He used to bring Big on. Pac loved Big. He didn't like Puff. Because Pac already dealt with the industry before Big even signed his contract. So when he got introduced to Big, he loved Big style. He loved that fat nigga. He said, man, this is one of the dopest niggas in New York right now. He talking that grimy shit. My New York niggas know what I'm talking about. Why you think Pac fell in love with that nigga? He looked at Puff like a slime ball because he looked at Puff like an industry person. Pac already dealt with the industry. Pac already had like what, 1 or 2 albums before he even met Big. He got movies, albums out before he even met Big. So when you went through that experience, why wouldn't you try to kick it to a nigga that you feeling? Pause. That you see that he got potential. But his manager, he's too connected to the industry, so you trying to kick him game. It wasn't about Big, it was about Puff. Little C said it, everybody said it. This shit is not a secret. He never had a problem with Big. Big just came in because Big had to protect Puff. He's the rapper. He just ain't gonna let a nigga bomb on him. He like, yo, this my label too. We over here repping Bad Boy, nigga. Brother or not. Big only did what he had to supposed to do, but not for nothing. Pac didn't want Big to get involved. Because when Pac got shot up in that studio, Big ain't know what the hell happened that night. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. I know that for a fact. I guarantee you Diddy knew what was going down that night, though. I'm going to continue saying this. All this little war that we seen between the East Coast and West Coast, Biggie had nothing to do with that shit. And you know why I'm going to break it down to y'all? Easily. Timeline. Basics. It's easy. Before Big even got his name named out there, before we even heard of a Biggie Smalls Juicy, you already had Suge Knight, Death Row, Snoop, Dr. Dre and them. They already had a name. Puff, he jumping the game now. He already got a name in the industry. Suge's already in the industry. Snoop and Dr. Dre. Why do you think when Snoop said, yo, we was cool as hell with them niggas? Them niggas used to come out here, nigga. How you think I met Big? I met Big through Pac. Pac was in New York when he brought Big to California. He wasn't signed to Death Row. He was in New York. Snoop, that's one thing I can say Snoop said that he admit. When I met Big, through Pac. Then after a couple, like a year or two before Pac went to jail, that's when we signed them, shit went left. That's a whole nother story. That's what we covering now. But before all this happened, niggas was cool, B. Niggas ain't had no problem with Big. It was the slime ball nigga Puff. Suge didn't like Puff. It was a competitive sport. You got the West Coast, you got the East Coast. Now you got Puffy building Bad Boy up. Now he got one of the talented young rappers in the East Coast in New York that about to change the music, meaning Biggie Smalls. And when he dropped Biggie, there you go. Now we got a little bit of competition. Before Suge even signed Pac and Clinton, Death Row wasn't making no noise when Big was smashing them. Go back and look at the timeline. Go do your research. I'm going to repeat myself again. Before Suge went and got Pac, Death Row wasn't making no noise when Big came out with his first album. Do your research. Do your research. And I'm talking industry-wise. We had a lot of rappers in the East Coast, but we ain't had a lot of rappers that popped the industry in the radio play. So when Big came out with that Juice, it changed everything. Suge was on a hot seat. Snoop wasn't making no music. Do y'all research in the timeline. Dr. Dre and them niggas he was gone. Him and Suge Knight was already breaking up. The only one he had was Snoop and Dogg Pound. Them niggas wasn't making no noise. What Snoop said, yo, we gotta go get that boy Pac out of prison, man. Snoop, I should have got that interview. Snoop clearly said that. He said he went to Suge and told him, we gotta go get that boy Pac and bring him over here. That's why they went and got Pac. It's a competition. It's a competitive sport. Death Row was sinking. They wasn't making no money. Bad Boy came out with Juicy and all that. Them niggas started blowing. Puff and Suge already knew each other before that. It's a competitive sport, bro. They was already cool. He went and got Pac. It's just a coincidence Pac got shot before he went to Clinton. So when you go get a nigga that got shot in his home base in New York, and now he got a renegade, he got a revenge against them niggas, what's that's gonna do, y'all? Your sales gonna go up. Your labor gonna go up. Everything gonna go up. Pop became a whole different monster, nigga, when he landed on Death Row. That nigga gave us about 3 albums in a less period of time. Niggas can't even do that shit now. That nigga was a monster. And Suge and them knew exactly what they was doing. Snoop just got too jealous because Pac ended up getting too much California love. When you get too much love than a nigga that's actually from California, you guarantee there's gonna be some jealousy involved. Because once upon a time, nigga, Snoop was that nigga off his first album, off the Chronic also. And now you got a nigga that's coming to California, and now he getting all the California love and bombing on niggas. They couldn't stop that nigga, man. They couldn't stop Pac, yo. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him at all. That man was a monster in that studio, man. And I believe it was a lot of jealousy. And I believe Reggie, allegedly, shout out to Reggie, but you know what I'm talking about, Reg. You was jealous also. A lot of people wanted that Death Row money in that Death Row position. Death Row was making a lot of money when Pac was there, bro.
because we all West Coast. We got beef with the people we got beef with, but we could go anywhere in the country because we are America's most wanted.
Exactly.
So you can't stop the flow.
Can't stop what America wants.
Right.
On that note, I know that Biggie and Puffy are here tonight. Did you see them? Do you have anything to say to them at all?
Nah, but even if we saw them, we are businessmen. We are not animals. It's not like we're gonna see them and rush them and jump on them. If they see us and they want drama, we're gonna definitely bring it like only Dev Row could bring it. But we here as businessmen to enjoy and
support the
Video Music Awards for MTV because they support us. So if they want to come and use this business opportunity to get on some gangster, we do that better than anybody.
Can you envision a day when, y'all, if not get together and make an album, just peacefully coexist?
There's no dream of making an album with Biggie and Puffy or none of them. We're not sweating it like that.
This is our family
We
over
peacefully
here.
coexist right now because we all cool. Everybody's here. They sell records. We sell records. Well, I guess you could call that selling records. What they do, we sell large amounts of records, and they sell a few records. And really, it's no competition. People are really making too much out of it than it is. It's really just if you want to talk, we're going to make it specific as to what you can talk about and what you can't talk about. And the East Coast, West Coast thing is something that the journalists and people are making up just to get paid off it so it can drag.
California, we go now to Illinois to Tanya. Tanya, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Yes, I want to give much props to BET and to you, Travis. To Snoop, I want to know, what is your relationship with Suge Knight and with Biggie Smile?
My relationship with Suge Knight, that's my CEO, my partner, my homeboy, my love, my business, my inspiration, my
records, what they do. We sell large amounts of records, and they sell a few records, and really, it's no competition. People are really making too much out of it than it is. It's really just if you want to talk, we're gonna make it specific as to what you could talk about and what you can't talk about. And the East Coast, West Coast thing is something that the journalists and people are making up just to get paid off it so it can drag.
California, we go now to Illinois to Tanya. Tanya, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Yes, I want to give much props to BET and to you, Travis. To Snoop, I want to know, what is your relationship with Suge Knight and with Biggie Smile?
My relationship with Suge Knight, that's my CEO, my partner, my homeboy, my love, my business, my inspiration, my love. Biggie Smalls, he's an artist that I listen to his music, I love his work. There's no beef, it's nothing personal. I don't hate him and I don't disrespect him and I love what he do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just me, I'm just a smooth, peaceful individual. I don't have beef with nobody right now, baby.
Now, remind y'all, he did that interview 2 days after Pac got shot. Y'all seen it in the bottom. Oh, y'all want me to go back? Hold on, let me show y'all. It says right there, September 5th, 1996, the day after the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City, Tupac was shot 2 days later. Remember I told y'all, they did all this and then Pac died a couple days later in Vegas. I kind of get it confused when I be saying a couple days a week, but y'all get the goddamn picture. Come on, man. Stop playing with me out here, bro. Like, I'm being honest. Stop effing playing. Ain't no real homie gonna act like that. I don't care what none of y'all say. That nigga was basura. He was garbage, nigga. He ain't had no music coming out when Pac was alive. His career was done. He caught a murder. He caught a murder charge. Oh, yeah, murder was the case that they gave me. Hold up. Murder was the case. Man, that shit was garbage, nigga. I hated that song. That shit ain't had no California love in it. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, man. Think about it. The best Snoop Dogg album, and I'm being honest, yo, the best album Snoop ever dropped, and because the reason why I love that album is the first one. Because that's one of the first albums I actually went in the store and bought. And we talking early 90s. Because Death Row Records, they was smashing the goddamn music industry in the 90s when we was over here in the East Coast. Am I lying? When y'all watched MTV Awards in the early 90s and all that, we seen nothing but Death Row Records, early Snoop Dogg days, Dog Pound, all that shit. Murder was the case. That shit was garbage. After that, that shit was garbage. All his album was garbage. Snoop best album is his first album. Doggy Style, nigga. Exactly. And I love that album, bro. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Doggy Style is one of the best. In the early 90s, You know how many videos they had off that Doggy Style and MTV and BET on videos? Yo, every day I came out of school, yo, that's all you saw was Death Row videos. That's it. Doggy Style, The Chronic, Dr. Dre, or them niggas had the early 90s on smash. Smash. Why you think Big had to come out and change the industry? He had to come out and change that shit. We had a whole bunch of Queensbridge niggas. I'm talking about industry pop music. Shit that's gonna be on the radio. Shit that's gonna change the game. That's why Juicy came out. Death Row had shit smashed for like 4 or 5 years straight in the early 90s. And listen, don't act. Listen, I'm not saying acting like I was bumping that shit, but when y'all talk about when y'all talk about the stats, the industry, the videos, and all that, that was the West Coast for like 4 or 5 years straight in the early 90s. Until Nasty Nas, don't get it confused. Nas was that nigga. But when it comes to pop culture, they had that with the Doggy Style, the Dr. Dre, the Chronic album, all that. That early 90s, them niggas had that shit on smash. I remember this shit, bro. Niggas over here was listening to Doggy Style, nigga. What the hell's we talking about? We was mixing it up. We heard Snoop in the. Why you think when Snoop came to the Source Awards, he said, New York, y'all don't love me? He said that shit for a reason, nigga. Doggy Style is a effing classic from the West Coast to the East Coast, bro. It's a classic. And I'm talking about pop changed the game, everything. They changed the game, bro. When it came out with Snoop Dogg and the Chronic and all that shit. Real hip hop fans know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not taking nothing away from Nas and all them niggas. It's a whole bunch of rappers in the early 90s that came out of New York. But I'm talking about pop, cracking the MTV, cracking the BET Award, cracking all. It was Death Row. Why you think Suge Knight was on that stage so cocky? In that 1995, I think it was a 1995 Source Awards. Why you think Snoop was on stage talking about New York? Y'all don't love me? Because Doggy Style and the Chronic and all that, they was smashing the charts. Pac came a year later. We talking about the Source Awards when Suge crashed the stage and Snoop Dogg was up there talking crazy to the whole New York. Pac was locked up. He was up in Clinton at that time. Pac came a year later. I think that was the 95 Source Awards. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a hip hop fan, bro. But after that, that's when that shit died down because Puff came out with Big and it came out with Juicy. So now the West Coast, that shit started dying. Then when it got Pop, they turned back up. That was a play. That's a fact, Millie. It was a play. Why you think they went and got Pop? Because Death Row Records was dying. When Juicy and Big came out, if anybody remember, in 1995, after that Source Awards, when Puff and Big and them, they started dropping more videos off that first album, East Coast was back. The East Coast was back. Suge ain't know what to do. Snoop and them was eating off their old albums, Doggy Style and all that. We talking 95, 96. Doggy Style just came out. I think 93 Doggy Style came out? Put it in the chat. I think Doggy Style came out 93, 94, or 91 the earliest. 92 the earliest. 92, 93, 94 Doggy Style came out. I remember. And Chronic came out around that same time too. Because they came back to back with it. Why you think, remember when Deep Cover the movie? And Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre got that soundtrack on Deep Cover? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a classic movie, Deep Cover, man. Go do your research. 92. And that's when Deep Cover came out, and that's how they really blew up, because they had a soundtrack on Deep Cover, and they had a video. Yeah, Pac started getting locked up. And then they came and got that nigga. And West Coast came right back up. Because right before they got Pac, man, they was dying over there. They ain't had no music. The sales was dying because Juicy, Bad Boy, they brought the East Coast back, man. Niggas was dancing over here in the East Coast now. You got to remember, man, before Juicy came out, niggas was not dancing. Niggas wasn't doing all this. Last time niggas was doing all this was that was a late 80s music. Or you listen to some Tribe Called Quest or some shit like that. Nah. Puff brought on that gangster and you could dance off this shit, nigga. And that was Biggie. He said, I was 7. Damn, boy, you was a youngin', Millie. He was... That's what tells you, nigga. I was a young teen, nigga. That's how you think I know this shit, man. I'm a hip-hop nigga. Those are my 2 favorite rappers, nigga. And Nas. Then Jay-Z. I can't forget Mobb Deep, though. Rest in peace to Prodigy. Gotta put him in there, too. He said this is around the time when the government was trying to use rap lyrics in court cases. Hello. You remember that? Hey, Miss Toby, remember they was trying to use that, I forgot what song Pac had. Remember Pac had a song, too? It wasn't NWA. It was after that. Because Pac had a song also, and they was trying to use that against him. Because remember, Pac was talking revolution and all that shit before he became Thug Life. I remember, yo, Pac had 3 different characters, man. That's why I try to tell Pac, man. Pac had 3 different characters, yo. That nigga was a backup dancer with Digital Underground. Then he came out solo. He became a rapper. I forgot his first album. Somebody put in the chat. What's Pac first? What's Pac on? Tupacalypse? Is it Tupacalypse or some shit like that? I'm tripping. Somebody put it in the chat. What was Pac's first album? Because that's when he left Digital Underground. He left them and he dropped his first album. Yup, exactly. Shout out to Seti. There you go. There you go. With that first album, Pac was talking too much revolution shit. He was on his Black Panther shit, F the police. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a Pac fan. So all y'all little new Pac fans come here, oh my God, you one-sided with Biggie. No, I go back to this first album. Y'all people probably was like 2 years old when he dropped his first album. Come on, man. That nigga was talking about F police, nigga, Black Panther, all types of shit. Nigga, I remember Pac's first album. He had a video and everything. That's what that first video, he's in the jail cell and all that in the video. Come on, stop playing with me. That's when the government and the police, I ain't gonna say the government, the police started being on Pac's neck. He fell back from that shit a little bit, started doing the movies. He did Juice, he did all that. He became Bishop. Now he became Thug Life. And that's when Thug Life was created. Let me tell you something about Pac. A lot of people say that Pac was a character. He was an actor. Yeah, he was an actor. I ain't gonna lie to you, he was. But Pac knew what suit to put on to make money. If y'all understand what I'm saying. Because I still believe the Hughes brothers, when they made Juicy, I think it was the Hughes brother that made not Juicy, Juice. They say Pac went and seen that movie. And y'all gotta understand, before Juice came out, Pac was on his Revolution, Black Panther, F the police, all that stuff. When Juice came out and he seen how many people gravitated to that Bishop character, that nigga never looked back. And I remember the Hughes brothers said that in an interview because Pac went to go see the premiere in New York. And he said that whole theater was going crazy over Bishop. Over Bishop. Pac said, you know what? You got to remember, Pac took acting school, nigga, in Baltimore with Jada Pinkett. Industry is all about acting and how you're going to sell records. Industry is all about acting and how you're going to sell records. Half of these rappers that we hear to, a lot of these niggas act to where they at. They didn't become that when they first came in the industry. Y'all remember Young Thug? Young Thug came in the industry as a little dirty nigga from Cleveland Avenue, talking his little shit, and then he became wearing dresses, painting his nails. Now y'all get what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta act in that industry to sell records. Now y'all get the point? Pac did that shit 30, 40 years ago. You gotta remember, Pac took acting class. So he know what to do. He know what the industry is gonna like, what the outside is gonna like. So when he flipped over from that first album, F the Police and all that, because you gotta remember, the only reason why Pac was talking that shit, he's part of the Black Panther, number one. And when Pac dropped that album, go do y'all research. See, when I talk timeline. Pac dropped that album early 90s. Who from the West Coast was talking about F the Police and all that over there 2 years before Pac dropped this album, or 3 years before Pac dropped this first album? It was NWA. And that shit sold records. When NWA dropped that album talking about F the Police and all that. Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody said Pac album dropped in 92. When NWA dropped that F the Police and all that. We talking what, 89? I'm a Pac fan. October, hold up, 94? Nah, hell no. NWA ain't dropped that shit in 94. NWA dropped that F the Police 88, 89. There you go, Said. Shout out to Said. 88, 89, F the Police, all about revolution, all about the peace, all about black peace. Couple years later, we got Pac dropping the same shit. That shit sell records. It ain't helpful Pac though, because the police was on Pac neck after that because of his background, his mother, Black Panther, all that. They look at your back end, they look at your backstory. Oh, nah, Pac, you gotta cut that out. We ain't gonna be talking about the police and all that. Pac left that shit alone. Next thing you know, we get Juice. We get Poetic Justice. Next thing you know, we get Thug Life. We get Thug Life right after he left the revolution shit alone. Why you think he went to New York? He was trying to get a group out there on some Thug Life shit. Rest in peace to Big Stretch. All my East Coast niggas know who I'm talking about. That was Pac main man. Big Stretch had a Thug Life tattoo also. That part. What are we talking about? Is any New York old heads in here from my era? Y'all know Big Stretch, right? That was Pac main man, right? Rest in peace to Big Stretch. His unaliving is very mysterious. Yeah, it's very. They was trying to say that podcast had something to do with his mother. That's a whole nother story. Come on, man. I know my hip hop. Y'all better stop playing with me, man. Support the channel, man. Support the channel. Smash that like button, man. We got Super Chat. We got Cash App. We bringing it back 96 and 97 in the building. Oh, hold on. We got about 30 more minutes. Y'all still woke. Yeah, that part. Shout out to Rochelle. She know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that part. He was his main guy. She know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Stretch, man. Big Stretch, because that nigga was a big fella. And that was Pac main nigga. If y'all know about Big Stretch, go do y'all research. And how he passed away, very strange. Car chase, little pop, 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 clock, clock, boom. Car flipped over. Pac allegedly blamed Stretch on his getting shot at the studio. He felt like Stretch knew about it. Hey, Haitian Jack. I know you probably watching because anything with Tupac, them niggas is watching. Haitian Jack. Haitian Jack did an interview, though. He said he ain't had nothing to do with it, but then he said this, then he said that. I don't know. Niggas rob Pac, man. By the end of the day, man, let me tell you something. Niggas never want to say that Diddy had nothing to do with that. But let me tell you something about the studio in New York. that I always found this strange. Little C said that when Pac pulled up, Little C was at the window. He was like, yo, Pac, yo, that's Pac down there, yo, that's Pac. Pac was like, yo, we about to come upstairs. But see, my thing is, how the hell they even knew Pac was coming to the studio? That's why Pac always blames Stretch, allegedly. Rest in peace to Big Stretch. My Queens niggas, they all know. Them niggas know, man. Stretch, listen, anybody that loves Stretch, they know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why Pac blamed him. Because Pac was thinking like, how the hell the niggas that was robbing me knew I was coming to the studio that night? So he started looking at people crazy. Puff, Big, everybody, Little C's, all that. It was before that. I don't think Big, Little C's, I'm going to say Puff High knew he was coming to that studio. Pac was pulling up for a reason. And there's a lot of theories out there and narratives. Anybody want to put it in the chat? Yeah, Quad Studios. Anybody watch Little C's interview? Watch Big Gene interview? What Big Gene said? Since we got Big Gene fans in here. Big Gene, you watching? You could jump in the chat, man. How did they know Pac was coming to Quad Studios? And I don't want to hear the same narrative we've been hearing for decades. Anybody want to put it in the chat? They said he was mad at Pac because he had the baddest chick. Nah, I want to know how he got to Quad Studio. Anybody that know this story, how did Pac get to Quad Studio? Y'all remember? We got any Big Gene fans or anybody been watching these interviews for decades? Because I know somebody can put it in the chat. Oh, we're going to get to Big, whatever. I want to know how Pac got to Quad Studio. Anybody remember? He said Lil C's think he was in the hallway. He was doing a song with Lil Sean. Little C's yelled out the window. That part with Little C's yelling out the window, you got to remember, Little C's was 15. Little C's was my age when he was running with Big. I'm 44. So Little C's got to be 2 years probably older or 3 years older than me. Little C's was a teenager at the time. So I don't never point fingers at Little C's, man, because I was the same age as him, or damn near 2-3 years younger than him. And I would never point fingers at Little C's. Never, never, never. There's other niggas that was cool with Big, though. There's another member over there in Junior Mafia that's a little older, that's way older than C's. Respectfully, D-Rock. Respectfully, D-Rock. And Big Gene always brung you up. But yeah, Jimmy Henchman. Yeah, no, that's what he said, yeah. But y'all know the reason why he went to Quad Studio, though? Y'all know the reason why he went to Quad Studio? Had to use the bathroom, man. So, I've seen a lot of people put Sean. Let me look through it. They said a dude named Stutterbox from Main Street Chris who was connected to Reggie Jr. I can understand that. I'm gonna read that. Hold up. We're talking about on Quiet Studio right now. But somebody put it here though. Let me go to it. Somebody put it in there. But that's the reason why Pac went there. Pac was going somewhere else. He spent around the block, spent back, and came back to Quiet Studio for a reason. Now, there's a lot of narratives. Out to Sean, anybody from Brooklyn, anybody from New York, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't even from Brooklyn. Like I said, I'm a Pac fan. I'm a hip hop fan. I watch interviews. If y'all know who Sean is, go look on who Sean did an interview with. Vlad TV. I think he did an interview with Vlad TV years ago, a couple years ago. It did some good numbers. But Pac came back to the On Quiet Studio. He was going somewhere else that day. He spent back, got a phone call, whatever beat, whatever you want to call it, came back to Quiet Studio to connect with somebody else that called him. He said Stress was supposed to be part of Naughty. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, hold up. If you ain't from watch, anybody from New York know what the hell I'm talking about? Because we got a lot of people that don't understand the back end of Tupac getting knocked off. I need some New York people in here. I need some Brooklyn. I need some Bronx. I need Harlem up in the building. Because they understand the story that I'm talking about. I've seen a couple of people earlier say, yeah, sure. There's a couple of people here in New York looking what I'm talking about when I'm looking what I'm talking about. Smash that like button. But at the end of the day, you got to understand, Pac plus not even been in Quiet Studio. Pac was going so. Damn, this nigga put King Tut. Yeah, we're over there. Hey, yo, shout out to King Tut, man. God bless you. I mean, you know that man been free for what? About 2 years, I think. Couple of years, I think. King Tut got he got a YouTube page. Shout out to King Tut, man. Shout out to King Tut. But King Tut actually spoke about this story. So if y'all want to hear the story from King Tut, you go to King Tut page. It's on YouTube. But King Tut speaks about Tupac. And he'll tell you his version. But like I said, I can't believe everybody's version. I can't believe respectfully to King Tut, but I can't believe everything you're telling us on a Tupac night that he went to Quiet Studio. Because allegedly it supposed to have been King Tut, Jimmy Hinchman, Haitian Jack, and I think it was a fourth member or it was only 3. Somebody put in the chat. I think it was 3 or 4. If it was 3, those are the 3 members, allegedly. And Jimmy, to this day, he denied that shit. He's like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with it. People putting me in the Tupac story. Haitian Jack, him and Tupac was like this. How you think Haitian Jack smashed Madonna? But hold on, I'm taking it too far to y'all. Hey, Madonna, man, we love you, girl. Keep doing your thing. What was that famous song? Hold on, what was the famous song? What was that famous song Madonna came out, man? Back in the 80s, early 90s, man. I need to call my mom and ask her, man. What's that famous song, man? But that's how Haitian Jack got connected to Madonna through Tupac. Why you think when Tupac got signed to Death Row, he dissed Haitian Jack and them niggas right away? But see, I don't believe the story that Haitian Jack give us, like a virgin. That part, like a virgin. Oh shit. Shout out to Rochelle, Rachel, man. What is it, Rachel or Rochelle? I'm pronouncing it right, Rachel or Rochelle? It's got to be Rachel. Yeah, Rachel. Hold on, man. Shout out to Rachel, man. She put that shit in there. Material girl. Yeah, man. Shout out to Madonna, man. Yo, shout out to Madonna because she got a whole young snapper. She got a whole... That little nigga young as hell. Yo, Madonna, you wrong, man. You wrong, Madonna, for real. But we love you though, Madonna. But how the hell you think Haitian Jack end up Tupac? Salute. Yeah, Pac was surrounded. That part. There you go. There you go. There you go. Shout out to Valerie, man. Pac was surrounded by a bunch of monsters in the East Coast, nigga. That's why he had to relocate. Pac is in New York, but at the end of the day, at that era, Pac was in the wrong area in New York. And one thing about Pac, his loyalty is too deep. Pause. Because you can see how he carried that shit to death row. But a lot of people think that, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. That nigga was surrounded by monsters, killers, and drug dealers, man. Shit crazy. But yeah, though, man. How long we been here? We been here then about 3 hours talking about this Pac shit. For the people that don't want to believe out the box, let the trial begin, man. Let the trials begin. I'm gonna tell you right now, Keefe D is the fall guy. Straight up and down. And I've been saying that shit since day one. Keefe D ain't nothing but the fall guy. Pac to recording Quad Studio, remember? Yeah, but Pac was going back to Quad Studio for a reason that day. According to other people interviews, they were saying Pac was going somewhere else that night. You got to remember who Pac was with when he got shot up. Because a lot of people think that Pac walked across Quad Studio by himself. Anybody in the chat could tell me who Pac was with when he came to Quad Studio and they shot. Y'all watched the movie. If y'all don't know in real life, y'all watched the movie, right? One of them dudes was Stretch. His main man. He came in there with two other niggas. It was Stretch and it was somebody else. I just can't quite remember who the other person is. And Pac was the one that got shot up the most. That's why Pac felt like he got backdoor and set up. And his manager. Exactly. Hey, yo, Drew, now think about it. He came there with Stretch and his manager. If I'm not mistaken, because it's been 30 years. My mind, 30 years is a very long time. But I remember Stretch was with him. Who got shot the most? Pac. That's why Pac looked at Stretch. He looked at him like he got set up and everything. Pac looked at everybody in the building like somebody backdoored him. So what he did was, all right, nobody want to tell me the real story? Fuck it. Pardon my language. I'm about to bomb on y'all niggas. And when Suge got him, he started bombing on them niggas. These were Stretch. Exactly. Rest in peace to both of them. I can't quite remember the other one, but somebody put the manager. Let me tell you something. Keefe D, Snoop Dogg, and I want to say Suge. But the more years go by, I'm starting to think that Suge didn't even know that shit was coming for him either. Cause you gotta remember, niggas was smashing Suge baby moms. Niggas was hating on Suge position. Reggie. Hold up, Reg. I know you watching this. Allegedly. Niggas was smashing Suge baby moms. Niggas was hating on Suge position. His position in death row, how much money he was getting, how much power he was getting. The niggas was jealous of Suge too. And that's something y'all gotta understand. It wasn't just jealousy on Pac. It was jealousy on Suge, and it was the Debo-ness. how Suge used to carry himself. So we got jealous and fear. That shit doesn't mix. You got to get that person out of here somehow, some way. When you jealous and you fear that person, that's a bad combination. And all my street niggas, they know it carries on to the streets. If you jealous and you fear somebody at the same time in that individual, that's a bad combination for you. It's either you're gonna pack up, go home, nigga, go live a different life, or you're gonna figure out how you're gonna end that shit. Exactly, said. I always felt like Suge didn't set up Pac. He didn't. But they ran with that narrative for the first 10, 15 years. And we believed that shit because we was young. Suge ain't had nothing to do with Pac death, bro. And I stand on that. I stand on that, bro. They was trying to get rid of both of them niggas. Because niggas fear Suge. Suge was at his prime at that time. Suge was getting too much money. And niggas, they was jealous. Jealous and fear doesn't mix, bro. You can't make no money if you scared of that nigga and you jealous. And you got the hottest rapper right next to you, and he just like you, Tupac. He just a smaller version of you. Cause Suge a big nigga. Pac is a small nigga, but he don't hold nothing back. And he gonna speak how he gonna speak. And Suge was the same way, and he showed Debo-ness. That's a crazy combination when you put them two together. Why you think they had so much success in a short period of time? Why you think I believe Suge when he said he loved Pac like a little brother, bro? I always believed that Suge had something to do with it, but then I had to fall back like, nah, they was scared of Suge and they was jealous of Tupac. They was trying to get both of them niggas out of here. Damn, hold up. He said, hold up. This nigga said some shit right here. He said the shots didn't come from the car. Somebody walked up on the car. Whoa. Hey, yo, hold up. Shout out to Millie, because he said when this shit happened, he was 7 years old. But you got a point on that, though. That's why they got Gaddafi out there, because Gaddafi had a better version and a better picture of somebody, the person that ran up to the car and they shot it. I always painted that picture. Because how the hell the two girls that was screaming, pop, pop, Suge, but y'all ain't see who shot that shit up? Let me tell you something. Whoever it is, yo, shout out to Millie. Shout out to Millie Hustle. He said, while Suge pays the person Kareem made Tupac $3 million. That's another story. But you got a point on this right here, though. Because I always question when you pull up in a car side by side and you let off a shot, a couple of shots, whatever, how the hell Biggie and Pac died the same way? You're going to get more damage when somebody hop out the car and they get more close range to you and they hit the car up and they jump back in the car and they get up out of there. Y'all get what I'm saying here? Because I always looked at them two. I'm like, yo, Biggie and Pac died the same way. Car pulled up, they shot it, and they pulled off. I'm like, nah. One of them two niggas would have survived that shit. So back in the days, that's why I shout out to Millie, because I swear to you, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I used to always think, yo, how about somebody ran up to the car, shot that shit up, jumped back in the car, and there was a whole nother driver, and there was two people in the car. Because everybody want to believe it was only one shooter on both situations. Nah. He might got a point on that. Because the more closer you get, if you run up on the car, the more damage you're going to hit that individual. That part. But when you pull up in the car, you pop, 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 and you pull off, you don't know where you're shooting at. Your gun could be going like this. But if you run up on somebody at the car and you hit them up, you're going to get way more damage to that individual. You're going to make sure that person out of here. Shout out to Willie, though, man. Shout out to Millie. Shout out to Millie Hustle. Shit deep, bro. I could keep on going, man, but we're gonna tap out though, man. We're gonna tap out. He said, what did the autopsy say about the bullet? That part. He said, why Sugar didn't pull off the door. That part. I don't know, man. That's why I said Pac. People still think that Pac alive, bro. Like, it's crazy. 30 years later, people think Pac is alive. You know what I mean? So he said, Trent said that Mike Tyson fight was a few blocks away. It was packed. So Law had to be involved. He said Pac is a twin. I tell you, man, that Pac, rest in peace to Pac, man. We love you, man. But I tell you one thing, this Pac case, boy, it's so many mysteries, and people say they seen Pac in Cuba. I mean, this shit bugged out. He said Katie did it. Hey, Dante, you ain't shit, man. Dante, you ain't shit, yo. For real. Hey, Dante, you ain't shit, yo. That's why I F with my mods, yo. This nigga Dante burnt out. This nigga bugged out, yo. This nigga said Katie did it. Hey, yo, Dante, Katie was back there in 96, nigga. She was in Vegas. This nigga burnt out, yo. He said LAP knows. Shout out to my mod, Dante. That nigga crazy, yo. Somebody got to bring a laugh to this shit. That nigga said Katie was back in 96. She was in Vegas. Y'all crazy, yo. Some girl named Katie in Vegas. Oh, shit. Yo, let me get up out of here, man. We've been here about 3 hours, man. We had a little decent night. Nothing crazy. Nah, you crazy, Dante. You shot out, yo. Shout out to my mod, though, man. Shout out to all my mods, man. But let me get up out of here. Y'all already see I'm looped up. He said 96 and it was 20. Yeah, I'm telling you, Suge was supposed to pull off soon. Yeah, man. Shout out to all my other mods. They hiding in the cut. Miss Special, you probably watch it. They all hide in the cut, but we up out here, man. Pop you know, the murder trial starting on next week. We're gonna cover that up, so. But make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Share the video. Hype your boy up, man. Do me a favor, man. Get your membership. Join the team, man. Team Smoke. I got to get a couple wrenches out also, so look forward for that. And yeah, support the channel, man. Donate to the channel, man. Super chat, cash app. I'm up out of here, man. Most importantly, though, smash the like button. If you're a Tupac fan and all that shit, smash that like button, man. Do me that favor, man. Rest in peace to Tupac. I know this 30 years later, people are tired of this shit, but it is what it is. We're going to bring a little light to this. Love all y'all, man, that pulled up tonight, man. We're going to be live tomorrow, man. Salute to everybody that pulled up tonight. Rest in peace to Pac. Rest in peace to Big, man. I'm up out of here. It's your boy Smoke News TV, man. Salute, gang. And Snoop Doggy Dog. Yeah, we be knowing, nigga. We be knowing. Allegedly, we be knowing.
Yeah. This is Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Let's get to it. Smoke News TV, where the rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke news TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke news TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip. Search, connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close smoke news TV. We back in the bill. Smoke news TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rise,